Oh, okay.
Hey, helping karma. Sorry, the other one it seemed like it got stuck, so I rebooted. It wouldn't let me do nothing. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully, everyone finds us.
We're the only ones who
Yes, we're back. The other one just got stuck, I guess. Oh, good. I'm glad. Good. I'm glad I've got a new different sound equipment. Hi, Commissioner. How are you? I'm good. Let's hope because they have me in the back that you'll be able to hear. I'll point the mic at them. Good morning. Okay, guys, so we're at Fire Commission. I have it to be called to call into police because there's no way I'll make both. But I really want to discuss those the closed fire lanes. Does anyone know who from 35 said that, well, if an emergency happens, we had the phone number to, the people to move the cars and stuff. Does anyone know who actually said that? If anyone knows the name or rank even. Huh?
I want to answer.
Oh, Lord, white guy's in his element. He's got to ask his uniform questions. Wait, the guy. What? Him? Hi, good morning. He wouldn't have been there, would he? Like literally, or he just. Okay, and he's the battalion chief. He was new, but that's a weird. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know. Just want to. It was Frank, right? Like definitely, maybe chief or captain.
Captain 2 out of 35. Captain 1 or Captain 2?
Captain 1 or Captain 2? I need to get that clip because I'm going to submit that and request an investigation or file a complaint. But I don't even know if we have that. Do we still have access to that clip? Because Scientology, they're escalating now. They completely closed down the fire lane. Before they would have it zigzag, but they feel so comfortable to completely shut it down. Okay, I need to. Hopefully, he clipped it, like did a short on it or something where it's easy to find. Right? It is shocking. I agree. And they keep saying there's no, nothing to, they keep bouncing it to everyone else. The investigator here said, oh, that's BRC services problem. Well, no, it's not. They may do the permits, but if there's a blocked fire lane, you cannot tell me the fire department, fire prevention doesn't have some say over it, So, Mr. Moxon, if you're watching, he hates that I go to these city meetings demanding that they enforce all their violations, So he doesn't go and say, well, we don't have any violations. We're innocent. He goes and says, we're mad. Like, he's upset that I demand that the city enforce them. Not amazing. Okay. DOA said he wanted to speak to the chief of the state. Oh yeah, they don't have it wouldn't be a chief by, it'd be captains. They don't have the chief there wouldn't be a chief. Government red tape and not wanting to be held responsible. Yeah, that's it. They don't want to be held responsible. They passed the book. Like nobody, I guess they don't want to go up against Scientology. But it's either that or keep seeing me. I'll ask them, aren't they sick of me yet? And the police, if I can get, there's no way I'll be able to get over there. But this one's less often. It's only twice a month. Yeah, like the captains. I think it's like it's Captain 1 and Captain 2. But the battalion chief is the one who said they could zigzag through, but they don't even have it where you can zigzag through anymore. Like it's completely blocked off. So I'm curious to see what happens.
Question.
Sure.
In the past, you've actually been up there to comment on public speaking.
Yeah.
Do they bring the microphone to you here, or
No, they usually have me parked up there, and they scoot me across, but I can go up this way because I go up there. Yeah, usually I've never sat back here. Usually,
That's why I'm asking.
they usually have me over there in the corner.
Okay.
But can I just go up the middle? I could just go up the middle.
Here, up here, who's going to be here? Commissioners, you ready to get the ball rolling? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Fire Commission on May 6th, 2025. Would you call the roll, please, Lucille?
Good morning.
That would be great. That's what we need.
Present.
Commissioner Babcock,
Can you guys hear that?
Commissioner Hara, Commissioner Woods Gray. Here. Fire Chief Glenn Nueva.
Here.
Deputy City Attorney Linda Newman.
Here.
And we have one.
Thank you. Chief, would you lead us in the flag salute?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chief. Commissioners, does anybody
I
have
think
any
it's just the
comments
location.
between the last meeting and this meeting?
Well, I attended the
Every time I try to get out, it's a
2024
different
-2.
phone. I don't know how to get out without like completely canceling it.
And then, last night, family 2024.
Thank you for presenting us. Others?
First of all, I'd like to wish a happy Asia Pacific Islanders Month to all of the firefighters and their families and to the city of Los Angeles. Over the years that I've been here, we've had an actual increase in the number of Asia Pacific Islanders who are members of the fire department. And I'm really happy with that and hope that we continue to increase the numbers as we go along. It should be one of our goals. To continue to increase diversity, regardless of what's happening internationally, working on diversity before they start talking about it. So I hope that we will continue to work on diversity because it's very important that our fire department represents our city. And so that is one thing. Oh, I did go to the graduation, which was very nice. I enjoyed it. I congratulate and welcome that new group that we just graduated. And I'm sorry I missed the orientations last night, but I forgot we changed the location. In my mind, Hoskins was on my mind.
Sounds like a song.
So at any rate, I'm certain that we welcomed a wonderful group of families and met some of them at the graduation because they were out there working traffic control.
Exactly.
And people who will be coming in. And so I welcome them also, and I hope to get to visit the classes this time. Now that it's springtime, it's my time to really like the air. I'm ready to go. So thank you very much.
Babcock with the record reflect. Babcock has joined us. Any comments?
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't have any public comment cards. Is that the case?
Yes, you do. They have two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. You do that now. Public comment. Are there any public commenters? Sorry.
It's
Yes,
us,
we
isn't it?
have two cards. The first card will be Audit LA. When you come up, you can just state items you would like to speak on.
Forgot to get my copy of the, all items, please. Oh, thank you.
All items?
Yes, please.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
And public comment. Oh, thank you. I want to start off by saying I did send pictures to the email. I don't know if you got them. I couldn't print them out in time. But basically, I'm here because on Easter Sunday, again, with Scientology, I know you're sick of hearing me, but until these things are resolved, many years ago, I was a volunteer firefighter. So fire safety is very important to me. No matter, where I am now, I can't stop. And
Can you state your name for the record?
Audit LA, I go by, because I'm dealing with the organization who's not happy with me. But they had an Easter celebration on Easter Sunday, and they had hundreds and hundreds of children. And their permit requires them to have a 20-foot open fire lane when they close the street. Now, they used to get away with just having, they would not have the 20-foot required lane, but the battalion chief said that, well, even though he slowed down, he could zigzag through it. There is somebody from their station who said, well, we have them on speed dial if we need them to move obstructions or anything. But this time, I guess they feel so bold because they're not put in check. They had it both ends completely shut down. There's no way any fire, not even an ambulance, nothing could get through. Absolutely no way. I've submitted pictures as evidence, and it's just getting to the point where they feel so confident that they're so protected that nobody's going to do anything, that they can have hundreds of little kids trapped in a street where no one can get through. And I personally, like, I've just had enough of it. A lot of people have. And I know if you're sick of seeing me, please do something about it. It's not about what goes on. If Scientology wants to be Scientology, it's not about that. But they have to obey the rules. They have to obey the ordinances. They just have to, whether they like it or not. Okay. And one of them is that open fire lane. And there was, and it just, please, I'm just asking you to look at those pictures and enforce it. It's just, I was told by your investigator that it's a Bureau of Street Services problem. I tell them, and they're like, no, it's, fire safety issues is fire prevention. So I just get the runaround back and forth. I just want safety. I want safety for the people inside Scientology because my friend's father's in there. Okay. There's people I know in there. I care about these people. It's not them. It's their organization that's doing it. And they're trapping their own people. They have so many senior citizens that are disabled and everything, in that building that you'd never be able to get them out quickly. If there was an emergency, can you at least give them an open fire lane, please? Not one that a battalion chief has to zigzag and slow down, or not one that completely blocks it. Can we please just give them, everyone inside and the public that they invite their events, a fire lane, please?
Any comments? You said you've been here.
Yes, and I'm going to keep coming until they have an open fire lane. So I understand. So you can.
Lee.
Even though it's 1970 uniform, I have.
1 second, sorry. What item would you like to speak on?
First, a uniform and an IT issue.
Public comment.
You have public
Yeah.
comment.
Okay.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
First thing, see how it starts without any patches or the name embroidered? You save money this way, number one, because not the more 89s used to dye his shirt at the station when it would start to fade out, which Nomex does. This is not Nomex, but just for an instance, you save money on the patches. You don't have this, because you can't bleach it with a patch and with the sun. And you save money on patches. First issue, get rid of the patches, except for urban search and rescue.
I like the patches.
There's someone who goes out of the district. Second, mutual levy, very important, simulcast, and the old tone, I think, was better, which I will demonstrate how it worked better. You can hear it, it's a gradual voice up, the one they have now is much shorter, they get louder, and it works really good. And that's all I have to say. Please consider what I said. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Yes. This is my report back from April 15th to May 5th.
Thank you. Hi. Hey guys, what time is it? Does anyone know? I just think we're a bunch of wackadoodles. I come here talking about Scientology. He comes talking about Digital Debbie. It's kind of funny. I know it's funny. It's like he wants it the way it was in the 70s. Like he's just stuck in that. It's fine. Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna have to stay here because I'm with this chair. I can't get, and it's raining too, so I can't. I'm not gonna be able to go to the police. I'm gonna Zoom call it. It said it didn't. If I had known it was gonna rain, I wouldn't even. So maybe it's good I didn't know it was gonna rain. Oh. I have it set up for Zoom. Hopefully they answer, but I really wanted to do the fire today. No, I have a second phone. I have a phone with me. But, I'm just gonna call in. Oh, I forgot I gotta go. Okay, I'm gonna have to go outside anyway.
14th floor, going down.
Hi. Maybe if it's not. Wait, what time is it, guys? Oh, yeah, that's okay. Oh, you're not on it. Look. Stream. Thank you,
Second floor,
guys.
going down.
I just, I hope they listen. But if they're sick of me, they will, right? Man, I didn't know it's gonna be raining today. I'm not supposed to go out in the rain.
Yes, sir, how we going? Is there a Tremont room? Tremont is off the first floor. Yes, you're gonna have to go. Sure. I would think you're right.
Oh. Oh, thank you, Chiara. Yeah, I mean, enough's enough. If they're like, yeah, no, it's raining. I'm not gonna be able to go to police. By the time I get way over there, it's gonna be, and then you have to go through security. Oh man, it's raining. See, I'm not supposed to go out in the rain because of like the. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to leave early today. That's okay. If they don't call me, I mean, next week for the police. I really wanted to hit the fire because of that fire lane. Wait, what time is it, guys? Maybe, wait, is that it right there? You know what? I'm gonna maybe try. If it's not too late. Hold on. If I'm getting wet. Okay, I'm gonna try. This rental chair. I'm so grateful for it, but it's not really built to go like in these city streets. But I didn't realize. I just looked. I said, "Wait, it's just right there." I'm thinking I'm all around on the other side because I come in from the other side, so I'm thinking it's way around there. It's right here, so I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna try. And I'll just say a prayer. It stops raining until I get out of here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make it. Just go real slow. Dang, I need to get. Oh yeah, I know our fire alarms go off sometimes for nothing, but then they go up when it goes for someone else can be cooking in their place, and it shuts down everything in the whole like the whole building goes off. It shuts down the elevator. It's like crazy. They have it like, but I guess it's good if there was ever a fire. Alrighty, I think we're gonna make it. My phone's getting a little wet. It's raining a bit. I hope I don't. I hope I don't regret this, and it's like comes down. Like hopefully it's to stay slow like this. There was nothing in the forecast for rain, which is crazy. And the other day it happened too. It's like no rain, and then I'm out there and it's like there's rain because you can't always tell with the overcast because we always have like the June gloom, and we have the the marine layer in the morning, so it's always foggy and dark and look like it's gonna rain in the morning. I got 9 minutes. All right. I have to go real slow, guys. This one doesn't go fast, and if it does, it flips. So I just gotta take it slow. We've got the best we can, but it's right here, so we'll make it. Yeah, I wish I can't. No, like I injured my foot. It's got really deep bruising because I did that. I was like just acting like it was like my regular one, and it's very it flips. It's not. Good morning. He's like for the post. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, keep fighting a good fight. Man, rain or shine, he's there. I feel bad for him. You can't get rid of the bad cops, but he got sick and they got rid of him. They could have put a sick cop on desk duty. So it's kind of lame that they get rid of the sick ones. Yeah, that one I know. I know. I missed the regular one too. It's gonna take a minute, but I'm grateful. I'm not complaining. I am so grateful for this chair. I'm gonna have to extend it, so I'm thankful for all you guys that helped make that a reality. I just had to, I just have to learn how to, maneuver so I don't do that again. Like, so I just have to put it slow and then inch our way there. No racing anybody. Oh, thanks soon. I'm happy to be out and about. I hope it doesn't rain hard. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to hide. I mean, it's getting a little spritzy. I may have to hide my phone to keep it from getting wet. But I'll let bike guy go sit with his fire people. I didn't tell him I was coming here. Yeah, I mean, it's always worth calling in. If you're able to call in, I don't need to call in now. I'm here, so I'll get out of the Zoom. But it's always worth a shot, because it does seem like more often than not they pick our people. They usually at least one or two. So yeah, I mean, we need your La Osa Nostra commentary, Damien and Muriel, all you guys, whoever wants to call in. Okay, we're getting there. And Ganja, we need her brand of antiques. I don't think Mona can. I don't think. Yeah, the trademark buy. I mean, I know. I live for the buy. Oh, Matt's done? Okay, good. I mean, I don't mean it like that, but I mean, like, I'm glad he got down there. He's been getting, like, really great content down there. Oh, shoot, the thing's not working. Oh, thank you. It's not working. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Oh, I want to hear about it. It's not working. Just to let you know, we need to fix
Oh,
the button for the disabled, the ADA call button. Thanks. Okay.
yeah. Leave the one, man. Yeah, put the weekend in there.
Yeah, the rest you can search or. Okay, see, Amy. I have to check.
Oh. Everyone. Oh, yeah? All the black space. I know. And plus, cause you know the poster.
I'm getting wanded. You go for it. He was like,
What's that?
"Does I go for it? You can search or whatever you need to do."
What, this for lunch?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's not for me. For yeah. Trust me, I don't want the trouble of bringing anything in here. Thanks. I'll just bring my big mouth. That's my it's my weapon of choice. Thank you.
There you go.
Appreciate it. I'm gonna do one at a time. All right, got it. Thank you. That's the first time coming back with since I got myself kicked out. Oh shoot. Oh, I told him to put the sandwich on my chair. But
Morning.
good morning.
Yes.
Thank you.
Recording in progress.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. Hey, since there's no Brown Act, when you leave, did you pick your commissioner so there's no gaping holes for weeks for these commissioners? You should have to apply the commissioner. When you leave, Southers, activists, or Rasha, when you leave, you should suggest who the next commissioner is, so there's no gaping hole for 4 months. Have you done that? Anybody thought this way? Hi, again, smartest person in the building, came down to help.
Okay. Okay, Lisa. Yep. Thank you.
How does the fourth largest economy have $1 billion debt in the biggest city?
That's a good question.
How's that happen?
Good question.
Isn't that mental illness over there just across the street, mentally ill, all 15, all the last 16 of them, actually.
Especially that one guy, Tony Villar's, the his wife.
I'm gonna get myself out of
Like those gang nicknames.
sorry if it's a little bouncy.
You might go with gang.
I want to get out of Zoom call so it doesn't have extra sound.
You're late. This judge, I didn't deal with the activist judge on Tuesday who acted.
Good morning. Commissioners, Chief McDonald, Executive Director Sibley, Madam Secretary, Inspector General Matthew Barragan, City Attorney Carlos De La Guerra, the public hearing is Tuesday, May 6, 2025, 9:30 a.m. Regular meeting of Los Angeles Board of Commissioners. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Please have the record reflect Commissioners Southers, Shields, Comanche, Garcia, Sanchez Gordon are present, and Member
That's funny,
Mr. President.
Thank you. We welcome everyone attending this morning. This commission is committed to ensuring a class meeting. Requested that individuals who require the services of translator contact the board secretary no later than the day preceding the meeting.
Whenever possible, a translator will be provided. Sign language interpreters, assistive listening devices, or other auxiliary aids and/or services may be provided upon request. To ensure availability, you are advised to make your request at least 72 hours prior to the meeting you wish to attend. All public comment will be heard during item number 2 on the agenda. We'll dedicate a total of 45 minutes to public comment. Members of the public will have 1 minute per agenda item or maximum of 2 minutes total. At the request of the speaker will be given 1 additional minute for general public comment or a maximum of 3 minutes total. Members of the public, if you choose to participate in the public comment portion of the agenda, you can participate in this meeting in a number of ways outlined on the agenda. Members of the public who participate in public comment are reminded that they can speak to any item on the agenda or a matter within jurisdiction of the Board of Police Commissioners. Public comment is your opportunity to address the board, so you're free to express your opinion on matters before the board, and to generally express when you disagree with other opinions expressed. However, directing your comments on individuals who have spoken or attacking others who have expressed their opinion shall be deemed off topic, and your public comment period will be concluded. Message for those attending the meeting in person. These meetings are regular meetings between the board, department, and key stakeholders. Meetings of the Board of Police Commissioners are open to the public. State's Ralph M. Brown Act affords the public the opportunity to be present at the meeting, hear the presentations and dialogue in real time, and provide feedback via the public comment period. During these meetings, there's a need for the board to carry out public business expeditiously without delays or disruption. Members of the audience should not engage in any conduct which causes an actual disruption of the meeting. Those attending in person are reminded that disruptive behavior will be caused for removal. If you disrupt this meeting, you will be provided with to cease disruptive behavior. If you fail to cease such behavior, you will be removed from the meeting. All attendees must be seated. Failure to follow this rule will result in a warning and will remove from the meeting. At this time, we'll move to item number 1, the report of the Chief of Police, Chief McDonald.
Morning, President Sanders, Vice President Shields, Commissioners, Inspector General Paragon, City Attorney Delegate in Mississippi. Today I'll discuss significant events from the previous 2 weeks, providing a crime update, and discussing our personnel strength. This Law Enforcement Appreciation Month, as we move into May, I want to take a moment to recognize this month to set aside, as Law Enforcement Appreciation Month, a time to reflect on the service and sacrifice of officers across the country. The week of May 15th is known as National Police Week, and May 15th itself is Peace Officers Memorial Day, a day when the nation pauses to honor those who died in the line of duty. It's a time for all of us, not just in law enforcement, but as a community, to remember the men and women who never came home. This past weekend, I traveled to Sacramento for the California Peace Officers Memorial. It's a powerful experience to stand alongside the families and partners of those we've lost. Pain is lifelong. It's a reminder of the lasting impact each of those officers had. Next week, I'll be in Washington, D.C. for National Police Week, joining officers and families from across the country to pay tribute together. And on May 22nd, we'll hold our own LAPD Police Memorial Ceremony here at home. It's our way of honoring the 239 members of this department who died in the line of duty. It's one of our most important traditions we keep, honoring the fallen. I want to also recognize that May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. This is an opportunity for our department to honor the contributions and rich cultural history of our AAPI personnel and the communities that we serve. If you visited our headquarters recently, you may have seen banners proudly displayed highlighting members of our department who represent the AAPI heritage. These displays are just one way we're recognizing and celebrating diversity within our ranks. Throughout May, we'll be honoring AAPI Heritage Month with different events across the department. Officer-involved shooting in the Southeast. On April 23rd, approximately 2 p.m., Southeast Patrol Division uniformed officers were conducting extra patrol in the area of West 113th Street and Compton Avenue when they observed a known suspect wanted for child abduction. The suspect, identified as Osmin Briseño, was known to carry firearms. Officers attempted a traffic stop on Briseño's vehicle. However, he suddenly fled at a high rate of speed. A short vehicle pursuit ensued, terminating on East 105 freeway on-ramp at Central Avenue. Briseño exited his vehicle holding a red and gray backpack. Officers gave repeated commands to Briseño not to reach inside the backpack, which he ignored. Virginia led officers on a foot pursuit running west towards Central Avenue. As he reached Central Avenue, Virginia suddenly stopped, faced the pursuing officer, reached inside the backpack, resulting in an officer-involved shooting. Virginia was struck by gunfire and fell to the pavement, where he was taken into custody without further incident. Virginia was then transported to a local hospital, where he received treatment for multiple gunshot wounds to his torso and left arm. Virginia was absentee booked for an unrelated 245 APC or assault with a deadly weapon with a firearm, crime report, and other outstanding felony warrants. No officers or community members were injured during this incident. No firearms were located at scene. Virginia's red and gray backpack was recovered and booked as evidence. Force Investigation Division investigators responded to the scene and investigated the incident. On May 3rd, about 9 in the morning, Southeast Patrol Division uniformed officers responded to a call of an assault with a deadly weapon, domestic violence in progress at 929 East 118th Street or Drive. Additional information indicated the suspect, later identified as Shamara Bennett, is armed with a gun and possibly seeking suicide by police. While officers were at scene, screams could be heard coming from the inside the residence. Officers made entry into the house and encountered Bennett armed with a rifle, and an officer-involved shooting occurred. Bennett was struck by gunfire and subsequently taken into custody without further incident. During this incident, officers were able to safely remove 4 additional people from inside the residence. Bennett was transported to a local hospital where he received treatment for a gunshot wound to his lower right leg. Bennett was absentee booked for 273.58 corporal injury on a spouse or cohabitant. No officers or community members were injured as a result of this incident. A female was treated at scene by Los Angeles Fire Department personnel for injuries sustained during the domestic violence incident. The rifle Bennett was armed with was found to be a CO2 powered AR style pistol, which was recovered from the scene and booked as evidence. The weapon was fully automatic and capable of firing metallic BB rounds. Force investigation investigators responded to the scene and are investigating the incident. Overall, year to date, we've had 13 officer-involved shootings compared to 12 at this time last year, which is an increase of 8.3%. We had a homicide in Van Nuys on April 26th, just after 2:30 in the afternoon. Van Nuys Division officers responded to a welfare check at 12629 Riverside Drive after a friend reported not hearing from a resident in several days. With the help of building management, officers entered the apartment and found the resident deceased inside. Based on what was found at the scene, it was clear that this was likely a homicide. Our Operations Valley Bureau homicide detectives were called in immediately and took over the investigation. They're actively pursuing several leads and we're currently searching for a person of interest. Photos of that individual have been released to the public, and we're asking anyone with information to come forward. As part of the investigation, we learned that Van Nuys officers had responded to the same location twice in the days leading up to the discovery. On April 23rd, around 3:50 a.m., officers responded to a radio call of an assault with a deadly weapon in progress. They did not hear or see any signs of a disturbance and were unable to make contact with anyone inside, so the officers cleared from the location. Then on April 25th, officers responded to a separate call regarding a possible trespass in a vacant unit next door. Management again provided access. At this time, officers discovered signs that someone had entered the unit by breaking through a skylight from the roof. They processed the scene, collected DNA evidence, and completed the trespass report. Given the circumstances, an administrative investigation has been opened to evaluate the handling of the initial call for service on April 23rd. This one is homicide in Topanga on April 26th, about 1 a.m. Topanga officers responded to a battery in progress radio call at a residence on De La Hosa Street. The caller had reported an unknown suspect assaulting her husband, but the line disconnected during the call. Communications Division attempted several callbacks, but the calls went to voicemail. The original call included no information about weapons or medical needs. When officers arrived at the location, there was no obvious signs of a disturbance, no one answered the door or callbacks, and no additional information was available for Communications Division. Officers cleared the scene. Later that morning, around 6:45 a.m., a second call was generated at the same location, this time for a death investigation. The Bangor officers and LAFD responded and discovered a male victim deceased inside the residence. Our Operations Valley Bureau homicide detectives responded and began their investigation. Detectives learned that the victim had gotten into a dispute with a known suspect. That suspect, along with two other men, arrived at the victim's home during the night. They assaulted and robbed both the victim and his wife. Tragically, the assault resulted in the victim's death. An administrative investigation is underway to assess the response to the initial radio call earlier that morning as well. Detectives from OVP Homicide worked quickly and closely with federal law enforcement partners, and thanks to their coordinated efforts, all three suspects were taken into custody the same day. The search of the vehicle in a motel room connected to suspects resulted in the recovery of key evidence and contraband. The case was presented to the district attorney's office, and all three suspects have been charged with murder, robbery, and burglary. There was early speculation in the media that this homicide, along with the recent Van Nuys case, may have been connected and potentially motivated by the victim's ethnicity or religion. However, investigations determined that the two incidents are not related, and there's no indication at this time that either crime was motivated by the victim's religion, ethnicity, or national origin. An update on the Major Theft Task Force, the South American Theft Group, their activity. The Major Theft Task Force continues to focus on organized burglary groups, particularly those associated with South American theft groups. These groups are often transient, sophisticated, and responsible for high-value property crimes across multiple jurisdictions. Over the last several weeks, the task force has been tracking a burglary group believed to be responsible for two high-profile residential burglaries in the North Hollywood and Hollywood areas. On Monday, April 25th, the Major Theft Task Force, working in coordination with LA Impact, observed members of the crew commit another residential burglary in the Hollywood area. A short vehicle pursuit followed. Two suspects were taken into custody at the end of the pursuit, while a third suspect fled on foot and remains outstanding. Both suspects were arrested and booked for residential burglary. The DA's office filed charges on both individuals remaining in custody. One of the arrestees, Jose Suarez Contreras, is a repeat offender. He had been previously arrested in November 24, along with 4 other Chilean nationals in connection to similar crimes. As part of the ongoing investigation, the task force, alongside the cargo theft unit, Valley Financial Section, served a search warrant on April 30th as a residence in Lancaster known to be associated with the South American Theft Group crew. While no suspects were found on site, the landlord and current tenants confirmed that a group of Chilean nationals recently resided there but had been evicted for non-payment. On Thursday, May 1st, detectives monitoring a vehicle linked to another South American Theft Group suspect involved in a burglary in the Devonshire area observed the individual on foot and took him into custody without incident. The suspect, identified as Jose Pinto Leyva, was arrested and booked for burglary. Wilshire Division, the kidnap robbery arrest. On April 21st, about 9 p.m., the victim, who was employed as an Uber Eats driver, was approached by a male Hispanic near the intersection of 7th Street and Western Avenue, which is Olympic Division. The suspect produced a semi-automatic handgun with an extended magazine, carjacked the victim. After robbing the victim of his personal property, the suspects placed a hood over the victim's head and drove him around the city for approximately 4 hours. The suspect stopped at various ATM machines and forced the victim to withdraw cash. During the incident, the suspect placed a gun to the victim's head and on multiple occasions threatened to kill the victim and his family. The suspect also fired several gunshots from his handgun, firing indiscriminately into the air as he drove the victim around. During this incident, the suspect was involved in a vehicle pursuit with Olympic patrol officers, which terminated in the area of Washington Boulevard and Hauser Boulevard. The suspect fled on foot and was able to escape the perimeter that had been established by patrol officers. Wilshire area robbery detectives assumed investigative responsibility for the case. Based on their investigation, including crime scene canvassing, victim and witness interviews, and a review of related surveillance video footage, detectives identified the suspect and obtained a warrant for his arrest. Wilshire detectives enlisted the help of Robbery Homicide Division's Special Investigations Section to locate and arrest the suspect. On May 5th, NISIS detectives located the suspect at an apartment building at 13930 Van Owen Street, and following a brief standoff, the suspect submitted to arrest and was taken into custody without incident. During a subsequent search of the apartment, detectives located 2 handguns, one of which matched the description of the gun used in the kidnap robbery. The suspect was booked for 209 PC, kidnapped for robbery. During the 4-week period, April 6th through May 3rd, compared to the previous 4 weeks, overall combined persons and property crimes in the city of Los Angeles are down 10.3%, reflecting 877 fewer crimes. This decline is largely driven by a 15% decrease in property crimes, which is a reduction of 1,020 incidents. However, we're seeing an 8.3% increase in person crimes, or 143 more incidents. Homicides year-to-date are down significantly by 28.8%, or 30 fewer victims compared to the same period in 2024. Victims shot citywide are down 13.6% year-to-date, or a reduction of 50 victims from the same period in 2024. Aggravated assaults have increased 9.7%, or 106 more crimes during the last 4 weeks. Newton, West LA, 77, and Olympic areas all experienced notable spikes. However, there is no current crime trend or pattern related to the increases. Robbery incidents rose by 7.3%, or 39 more incidents over the same period. Olympic at 77th had the most significant increases. Nearly half of the robberies, or 276, were strong arm robberies, which was up 8.2%. Robberies involving firearms decreased slightly by 1.6%, and no identified series or patterns at this time have been noted. Burglaries fell by 12.7% during the period, with all bureaus showing decreases. Residential burglaries are down 7.7% from the previous 4-week period, and non-residential burglaries are down 16.2%. Motor vehicle thefts decreased by 8.2%, or 132 less vehicles taken over that same 4-week period. Currently, our personnel strength, as of May 5th, we have 8,738 sworn personnel and 2,675 civilian professional staff. Our reserve officer complement remains at 360. That completes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you for a number of incidents you summarized here. Most importantly, the kidnap robbery arrest, and the investigative work that went into the detectives arresting that suspect, the Uber Eats victim. I also want to commend the officers who responded to the Spartan College active shooter incident last Friday. There were a number of agencies who rolled to that scene immediately. Despite the quick response, the suspect was able to evade the perimeter, and because of the automated license plate recognition system throughout the city, they were able to locate him downtown just minutes later, took him into custody without further incident. Again, thank you for acknowledging National Police Week, and you went to Sacramento, I know you're going to go to DC, so I appreciate that. And last but not least, I want to thank those 360 officers who work with our reserves. They worked over 50,000 hours last year, and responded to the wildfires, as well as those 30 officers who participated in the security efforts for the Paris Olympics. It was quite impressive, and I'm really glad they were able to do that. And with that, I will defer to Vice President Shields for any further comments.
Thank you, and thank you, Chief, for that very thorough review, and thank you for acknowledging both Law Enforcement Appreciation Month and Asian American Heritage Month. I had a question about the officer involved shooting at Southeast. Is there a concurrent Cal DOJ investigation with that one, or were they informed?
They're certainly informed, yeah. I'll check the status and get back to you on where they are on that.
Thank you.
They would generally respond to anything like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted to confirm that was the case. Excuse me, those in the back, can you please be quiet during this? Thank you. With regards to the homicide in Van Nuys, and I understand that there's an ongoing administrative investigation occurring in connection with that. And I think, with regards to the initial appearance by officers earlier, a couple of days earlier, and they didn't hear anything, and so they left. What is a proper response, right? Because we want to make sure people aren't victims of like swatting calls. So how do you try to balance, like, how do you distinguish between, a false call or someone that may need your help inside a business?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's a judgment situation by the officers on scene. They'll try and get additional follow-up from communications with callbacks, with whatever they can work to look at prior incidents that occurred at that location. And then they'll try and talk to people in the area, neighbors, if they can get them to see what information they can pull together. Like you said, there's a sensitivity to not wanting to kick a door or go into a place and potentially have it be a swatting type call, but at the same time balance that with the need to ensure that nobody's inside and out. So yeah, we're doing a pretty deep dive on that.
And I understand that some of the residents at that apartment complex have, security concerns, both with regards to, building management, things like that. Is there anything the city attorney's office, or have you reached out to the city attorney's office to see if there's anything that they can do to make sure that that complex is kept safe, and that the landlords are doing what they should be doing to keep residents safe?
Yeah, that would be the senior lead officers in the area would coordinate that. They often work closely with their partners at the city attorney's office to look at potential for abatement or nuisance property type activity. And I'm not sure exactly where they are on that one, but we can check that as well.
Wonderful, thank you. And I wanted to just take a minute to both thank you and your team for the presentation that you did before the Budget and Finance Committee last week. I think it was important for you to advocate for all of the civilians in the department and indicate how important civilian staff is, both with regards to specialized positions and ones that cannot be backfilled by our sworn personnel, and also the fact that you don't want sworn personnel backfilling administrative positions either. I think especially if you're trying to recruit people, they're not likely to sign up for a desk job if that's what is entailed.
Absolutely, if I could too. There were a number of positions that were identified during that were specialized, licensed employees within the department, DNA analysis, fingerprint technicians, very technical skill jobs that require a lot of training, expertise, and certification. But in addition to that, the ones that were, addressed in a more generic sense, the people who work those jobs develop an expertise over many years, and that's not a job that you can pull someone in from the field and be able to successfully put them into any of those positions and get the same level of service that we would get from our professional staff who dedicated their lives to this mission. So every one of those 403 spots are critical to our ability to be able to move forward and maintain the current levels of service that we're at. And we value each one of those employees very, very highly.
Thank you, and I know it means a lot to the civilian staff that there's always the feeling that they're not the same as the sworn or not as important, and I think that your messaging was important for them to hear that, how valued they are. And I also wanted to, commend your staff for having to turn around so many different budget memos in a very short period of time. I know how long that takes, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Conte.
I just have thank you, Chief. I just have a quick question about, and I might have missed it, but can you talk a little bit about the 8.2% rise in, I think it was robberies in Olympic and 77?
Not specifically, but I'll get back to you on it.
Oh, no, so I just wanted to get a sense of like what you think is happening.
I mean, when you're looking at 8.3%, let me see how. 100 robberies involving firearms. No, that was a decrease. Yeah, I'll get back to you on that one. It could be a lot of our robberies are strong arms, so it could be the same individuals hitting a number of different people in the same area. And they make reports, and that drives the numbers up. We're hoping to be able to identify and make arrests on those people that particularly are the serial offenders who are driving the numbers.
So these are all crimes with a firearm?
No, most of them are strong arm. And then we have firearms in addition to that, which I spelled out.
Oh, okay. And strong arm is what?
taking it by force or fear
Oh,
without the use of a firearm.
okay. Yeah, it would just be great to know, like, if there's something happening. Or is that number, I know it's an increase, but is that like something that goes up and down and?
Yeah, it goes up and down. They're all subject to going up and down at any point, trends, patterns, we identify those and work those.
Is it something that we should worry about, or do you think that at some point it would go back to like a steady?
It'll go back. We work these every week when we talk about this. There's variations in crime. Different divisions are hot one week and not the next week. Our detectives are out there following up, working with patrol officers to make arrests of those people who are out there doing repeated offenses, and that has a significant impact on the number.
Thank you. That was my question.
Thank you. Commissioner Garcia. Thank you, Chief. None at this time. Thank you. Commissioner Sanchez Gordon. Mike.
Thank you, Chief, for your report. I do just have a couple of follow-up questions, and not to be repetitive, because I think a lot was covered. In regards to the kidnap robbery, in the Wilshire District on April 21, you indicated that it happened on April 21, and on May 5th, the suspect was arrested. Was there only one suspect that was involved in all this criminal activity that Uber Eats driver?
On that one, going through it, yeah, that was an individual suspect that was involved in that. And he had taken, as far as I know right now, and if it's different, I'll get back to you on that, but one individual had taken the suspect around the city and he was arrested.
Another question, and just to follow up on Commissioner Quache, on the strong arm robbery and also the robbery with use of a firearm. Could you tell me again, what specific area are we talking about?
I don't have that in front of me. I can get you any of that information anytime. Happy to give it to you afterwards.
But it's designated for a particular area where this crime has increased. 77th and Olympic Avenue?
No, 77th Division and Olympic Division.
And Olympic Division. Okay, thank you. The investigation regarding the response to the call, both in Van Nuys and in Topanga, that's still ongoing?
The administrative, analysis of what happened there, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now move on to agenda item number 2, public comment. Madam Secretary, please call the first speaker.
We have Andrew Fraser.
Starting off with the chief's report, the chief's report should be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes at every meeting. If the chief's report exceeds 3 minutes, which will match the amount of time the chief takes, and regardless of how long the chief takes to give his report, everyone should be able to speak both in person and on the phone. So the chief talked about a shooting, a case where the cop shot someone, and he talked about this backpack or something, and he claimed that they were worried about a gun or something, and then they charged him with a gun, having a gun, and then they found there was no firearm. So they said they charged him, he said he was charged with having a firearm, but he didn't actually have a firearm in his backpack. So, why, is he still being charged with a firearm? Having a firearm when he apparently didn't have one at all, even after they shot him? So that's a good question. No, is whether the guy's still being charged with a firearm after they found he didn't have a firearm. So we have the consent agenda. Oh, and he also talked a lot about, how great the cops are, like, just all kinds of wasting our time, all this propaganda nonsense during this report. Just, almost 15 minutes for the report today. Come on. We have the consent agenda. We have a trip for the chief in Cambridge, Massachusetts. from the 24th to the 27th. What was discussed at that summit? A lot of interesting questions there. We have we have some donations from the police foundation that was named after the racist police chief from the 60s. Once again, we keep honoring that racist. But of course, they continue to be racist. I mean, that's who you are. Let's see, we have a donation for an expensive hazmat training trailer for the emergency services division. We have agenda item, 3E, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 completely unrelated donations. Shouldn't this all be separate agenda items, consent agenda items? Because I mean, this is like 5 different donations, none of them having anything to do with each other. And you're just trying to bunch it into an item to make it easier for you to just quickly, rush through all these terrible donations. They should all be their own agenda items. I don't know how to get through all this nonsense, but this only give me 3 minutes, but as always, the LA continues to help Trump immigration officials as they kidnap people. Errol, are you gonna protect your students when Trump starts kidnapping your students at USC?
Thank you.
Next,
Oh,
Yes.
I couldn't hear it.
For the name?
MAS.
3 minutes. Can I get 3 minutes? Possible? My question is, for the chief, because a little nervous about forgetting from that chief. April 4th, I was driving in North Hollywood area in the Melbourne, and a truck, on the top, I was on the cover. That blue and red lights on. I pull over, he came next to me, the window was tinted, window half down. Yeah, I asked him, I'm a police officer, I'm not enforcement, he goes, yes, and I asked him to your badge. And he tried to show me, they went behind me, the lights on again, keep following me. Same time, I was calling the LAPD. And I went to the freeway, he went to the freeway, so they transferred to CHP. So I got to CHP, I went all the way to, I believe, yeah, he's following me, so he went to the street, I went to follow him, get his license plate, and I got his license plate, but the street we went together, it was closed, so he walked out. I believe that he called 911 and tell him I have a gun, examination. I'm not about great respect to law enforcement. In Coima PD, I think the Google division came, put handcuffs on me. It was so tight, it was all bruised. I have pictures, I can send it to you. I did talk to your chief of staff about this last week. And I have a very, very concern about this. I know you personally, I know you from this ship. I know you from Sheridan. Nothing great things about you. So I have faith on you. So I bring 2 reports. I want to hand it to you, one if you don't mind, and I want to hand it to one to Inspector General's office. We need to get this because, like I said, I always support law enforcement. All my life, I mean, in 40 years, nothing but great respect to them. Even the cameras are changing. I could have said bad words to them. I never want to keep that respect between me and the law enforcement because at the end of the day, we're all humans. And I love to keep that, you can check the camera, the dead body camera. Not like that. I asked for a sergeant, he came, he was bragging, he's been there in 30 years in the department, you should tell me about this, you should tell me this, you should tell me that. Every time I go to court, I always win. I don't know why I was keep saying that stuff. I didn't want to give him the report. He got upset. He was keep telling me I was upset. I'm not upset. Don't put me in my mouth. I'm concerned. And I'm nothing, like I said, I'm nothing going to say it shouldn't happen to me, it shouldn't happen to any citizen. Because I was trying to, the guy was personated as a police officer, he wasn't. I was handcuffed. He wasn't in the handcuffs. He was on in the street. And I asked the guy, I said, can you take the evidence? Because the guy threw the evidence in the street, the lights. And they didn't want to pick up that. So I had to hold that to another officer to come and pick up those lights. And I'm very, very concerned about that department. And that's why I went to the next following week, file a complaint. And I talked to the detective, was a great detective. So I have 2 reports. If you don't want, I can give it to you. I know my time is short. One for you guys and one for the 2 general. Appreciate it.
Sir, this officer will take your report. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Be safe. All you guys.
We have audit LA.
Good morning. Chief, I just have a clarifying question about the Van Nuys homicide. Is that the same one? Because like in North Hollywood, they think it's North Hollywood. So is there two separate homicides, or was it kind of near the border of North Hollywood? That's my one question. And also, I just want to let you know, I did keep my promise. On Easter Sunday, I had my rights violated at the at Scientology. I can't call it a church. And the police came and they made them honor the Constitution and my rights, which is not normally the what happens when, sadly, whenever the police are called and dealing with Scientology, but they did. And I said I was going to put commendations in for them because I want to give, I want to encourage every time it's done right. I think I'm quick, I'll complain too, I'll put a complaint in, but I'm going to also do what I said, and I did. So just to let you know, I appreciate those two officers, and they deserve. Now, the last time I was here, it didn't end very well, Ms. Shields. Laura is here again. She is a victim. She was born and raised in Scientology, and she and Serge, who was here before, are the reasons I fight so passionately. To me, it's unbelievable that there are people in this city that grew up, born and raised, and were abused, tortured, mentally, physically, every different way, okay, put in their own jail, like they have a jail system. I don't know if you realize that. And they are why I am so passionate. And she wasn't treated very well. I'm sorry, she doesn't know about procedures of these meetings. All you have, when she's saying, do you hear me? All you have to say, Ms. Commissioner Shields, just for learning, I'm not trying to come at you, but all you have to say is that, because of Brown Act, I can't answer you. But the meeting's over, and but instead of threatening to get her out, and see, that's what happens is I don't like, I don't want to ever get thrown out of a meeting. It's not my style, but I'm going to stand up for the victims, especially since I'm the one who's been bugging her to come here to tell her story. The police need to hear. They need to know, even if you can't help her, statute of limitations, you can always say statute of limitations. This city needs to know what is going on in this city and why she's protesting. And her father is stuck in that blue building. They will not give her access to him. They will not give her a wellness check on him. And he is also, I've never met the man, but I'm fighting for him too. I don't hate Scientologists. I hate what their organization, how they treat people and the abuses they do, and and the fraud that they commit and all these different things. In fact, their lawyer, Kendrick Moxon, he's trying to get me in trouble with the city attorney because he says, oh, she keeps coming to these meetings, demand that they enforce all the everything against them. Well, he didn't say we're innocent. He didn't say there's nothing to enforce. He just said, I'm upset. He's upset because I'm begging the city to enforce what is enforceable, because they're so used to having decades of they could do whatever they want. But those days are over because people are watching and speaking up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe he didn't get it.
All right, so while you were all on break, we found out that on April 11th, 2024, Joe Ward Wallace, the owner of South LA, was brutally assaulted and arrested by LAPD pigs, Joshua Sportello and Edward Pedroza. The attack occurred after Ward Wallace approached them to file a complaint about another pig who was recklessly driving through the neighborhood. Now, Ward Wallace wound up being arrested for assaulting a pig and was not jailed for 5 days until the charges were dropped. Some of the harrowing experience included being thrown into solitary confinement and being fed food with cockroaches. Now, one of the pigs involved in the assault of Ward Wallace, Joshua Sportello, has a documented history of violence against black men. Sportello was captured on video punching Alexander Mitchell, a handcuffed black man, last July. Charges against him were also dropped. Now, William Good uncovered that Joshua Sportello was in the Marines before becoming an LAPD pig. In your main message, you were talking about Memorial Day and honoring these veterans. Now, what was he known for, Joshua Sportello? Being a racist and bullying the few black Marines in the unit. Someone who was in his unit said that he microwaved live rabbits, tarantulas, and rats and would watch them explode for entertainment. Now, on May 2nd, 2024, LAPD pig Joshua Sportello was front and center during the full-on assault on UCLA's Palestine Solidarity Encampment. Witnesses reported that he pushed multiple women into a steel garbage can. These 3 events happened over the span of 108 days. Now, Joshua Portel has been an LAPD pick since 2019. Who else has he created on in our communities? Now, at a time when LAPD liability payouts have reached historic highs, 2 lawsuits filed in the last 9 months stem directly from acts of terror committed by Joshua Portel. None of you asked about this incident. None of you asked about it. Did you know about it? You want to shake your head yes or no? Nobody asked about it. Again, you released video of the shooting of Jillian Schreiner that shows the pig shot at Schreiner to drop her gun for 1 minute and 25 seconds before they say it's the police. They admit that she wasn't aiming a gun at anyone, and state law clearly spells out that it isn't against the law to carry a handgun on your own fucking property. Now, moving on to McDonald. You might be the most milquetoast chief the LAPD has ever had. If Bland was a person, this would be it. I've never seen someone so unhappy to be the chief. In his main message, McDonald said a cut in civilian personnel is going to take a toll on the morale of rank and file police. You'll see him acknowledge the quote-unquote frustration, anger, anxiety, and confusion at PIGS, but will never do so with the communities who experience the acts of terror by this department. He's threatened to close 3 jails because of the civilian cuts. Good! Do it! Don't talk about it, be about it. And lastly, I wanted to talk about how in honoring AAPI month, you couldn't miss a chance to throw in a picture of Ronald Reagan in your commemoration. And I want to just say again, why wasn't that brought up? You guys are supposed to be the voice of the public, and yet nobody had anything to say about this attack on a black man, a respected black man in the South LA community, that's even talked about working with the LAPD. Fuck y'all.
Thank you.
Who you got this for?
Next,
I like your shirt.
Good morning. All items, please. 6 months ago into this administration, there has been no real change. The department clings to outdated leadership models, union-driven decisions, and symbolic programs, while patrol units are overwhelmed and response times keep climbing. Nearly 2,000 positions have been lost, yet no restructuring has occurred. Instead of adapting, the department leans on costly stopgaps like assigning smart officers to civilian roles, driving up overtime and worsening fatigue. Why is Metro so over-deployed while investigative and patrol units are stretched thin? Why is there still a full DEI unit with unclear operational impact while core public safety suffers?
Excuse me, ma'am. Sir, I'm sorry. With the blue mask, you had your 3 minutes. Allow this speaker to have 3 minutes. This is your first and last warning to disrupt the meeting. Sorry, ma'am. Please continue.
Okay. And why are CSP units originally designed for outreach still operating at full strength when those officers are urgently needed elsewhere? MRD has 28 officers in it. Why are so many necessary now? These are questions leadership refuses to confront. Chief McDonald made one correct move, removing Liz Rhodes from constitutional policing, a unit that damaged internal operations under her leadership. But one personnel decision isn't reformed. Internal affairs is overwhelmed not by serious misconduct, but by anonymous, retaliatory, and frivolous complaints. Skilled IA officers are bogged down investigating personal grudge reports instead of real wrongdoing. Meanwhile, legitimate issues are ignored, and when that happens, payouts skyrocket. Los Angeles is bleeding millions in settlements tied to preventable mismanagement. We urge the Police Commission and Chief McDonald to bring the city attorney into closed session immediately to identify legal and policy mechanisms that would allow the department to filter out bad faith complaints before they raise IA resources or trigger avoidable payouts. We also call on the commission and city council to push for state legislation and local policy changes that protect public funds without weakening real accountability. The current system punishes taxpayers and frontline officers alike. And reinstate the Animal Cruelty Task Force. DA Nathan Hoffman has made it clear animal abuse is a serious crime. LAPD isn't acting on it. Leadership doesn't prioritize these cases, and the failure is obvious on the ground. Citizen and animal rescue groups reports go unanswered. Follow-up is inconsistent, and collaboration with the DA's office is weak. Animal abuse isn't a minor issue. It's a public safety indicator often tied to domestic violence, child abuse, and escalating threats. Los Angeles doesn't need more public relations or stalled reform policies. It needs competent leadership and structural change. Chief McDonald, everyone was expecting you to shake things up and make LAPD great again, and we are still waiting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Laura.
Hi,
I was here 2 weeks ago. My PTSD has gotten a little bit better. I first just wanted to bring up, one of my main points last time was if you guys could take 10 minutes to look up Operation Snow White and how Scientology infiltrated the government and got their IRS tax status. It sounds like a weird thing, sounds like a conspiracy, but it really happened, and I was one of the kids during that time. Why I'm bringing this up is you brought up fake swatting calls that are happening. There's a lot of fake swatting calls that have happened, and I know you've heard about them on protesters like myself and other major protesters that have really been exposing the exact crimes like child trafficking and the Operation Snow White, and how lawyers like Kendrick Moxon are still putting protesters in jail on hate crime felonies, like there's 6 hate crime felonies on one protester right now for removing city property that was never put there by city. It was put there by Scientology because they have the city beans or the street closures that still, for some reason, they're allowed to access, Same thing with fire department. They say, oh, it's okay, we have the security guard's phone number. No, that's how little things like this happen where they get away with getting fake permits for road closures when really they're having big fundraising events or child recruitment events, or they'll use the R1 visa to get people in across the country and then recruit their family and kids and say, you can be here because we have religious status. You can be here. We have your family. Then once they're here, they're monitoring their every move and every camera, everything. So they use that information, blackmail later, to get back at that family from not wanting to leave Scientology at all, but thinking like, oh, this is their only way to freedom. And then they eventually recruit them into the Sea organization, the billionaire contract that I told you guys about earlier. Kendrick Moxon is putting these protesters, people like me and a bunch of other people, protesters, sending the prosecutor, LA prosecutor, who also is trying to get some protester law pushed through. But you have Kendrick Moxon from Scientology, 40 years later, putting the protesters on a protester law that has nothing to do with the protesting of Scientology. Scientology is not a cult. Scientology is a cult. It's not a religion. Look up Operation Snow White. Look up why this is so intense. Why there are protesters literally trying to say Scientology traffics children. Stop giving them the permits for L. Ron Hubbard Way. Give other people like myself permits for that road that they overtook by just naming it L. Ron Hubbard Way. There should be parking meters. I live 2 blocks away from that blue building. My father is there. I'm not gonna leave. I will be loud and loud and loud, and I will come back here with less and less PTSD to be able to explain that to you. Thank you.
Great job.
Jonathan Foster.
I definitely, Jonathan Foster, definitely not that welcome here sometimes. I do appreciate and respect the LAPD and police, but you just push me over the borderline. I'm getting to the point where I just want to put your ASS in jail. All of you, including you. Rasha, I saw the shoulder check, the dude, the Batman, and he was flipping you off, and I saw you go like this with the shoulder check. I'm watching. That's twice you've assaulted me and now Batman from sitting down there. You've assaulted 2 people here. Get out of here. You've assaulted 2 people from sitting down there. You think I'm not watching? I'm not squeaky clean either, but I got some other things to say. I got to say something. Talk about this one. There was a Silverman was shooting at a helicopter. Where did the bullets land? And isn't every bullet attempted murder? Where did they land? They could have killed somebody. Could have killed 6 people. You should be arrested for murder. So I came to talk about Yang Yang and the situation, and boy, I wish it could just go the way I wish it would, right? We would do a barricade. So and I'm not going to be able to get to anything. So I wrote down, so let's look at what happens when and how does this end, right? So they're gonna arrest a mentally ill person, they're gonna go to jail, and then they're gonna get released. And they're just gonna do the same thing again. There was a guy in Vancouver, he ran over several people, this Kai G. Adam Lowe, but he had a history with police. So it doesn't matter if you arrest mentally ill people, put them in jail, they get let out, and they're gonna do stuff again, right? And I talked about assigning these people to a caretaker, but Yongying had to use a sign to both his parents, and look what happened. So how come you didn't go to the call? Aren't you the one with the most experience? You should have went. Maybe he'd still be alive. You need to get in the car and go to every next call, bro. So, what I put down here was, let's see if I can establish conversation with Yongying, right? And maybe that could have been his twin and the parents, not the mentally ill responded people who called LAPD. Now Yongying's dead. How come I'm the smartest one in the building who can get you out of this, but nobody listens to me? No more time. Rasha, you need to stop assaulting people from up there, and you need to leave, Rasha. Leave, Rasha. Leave, Rasha. Leave, Rasha.
Excellent, Grace.
That's twice you assaulted people, Roger. You can leave, Roger.
All items. This comment is on the LAPD's Immigration Enforcement Task Force report. This annual sham that pretends to be quote unquote compliance with SB 54. But what it really is your alibi. An alibi for how this department keeps sharpening the knives for ICE, Homeland Security, and every other federal agency that hunts, detains, deports, and disappears our people. An alibi for how you funnel data to the same agencies you claim you don't collaborate with. An alibi for how you continue your long-standing war on migrants while pretending your hands are clean. Let's be clear, this report is not transparent, it's not comprehensive, it's not even accurate. It's just a list of whatever the LAPD feels like reporting. You don't name every task force, you don't list all the arrests, you don't even admit which agencies are involved. You lie by omission and hope no one notices, but we do notice. You say the Cyber Fraud Task Force includes the Secret Service, but then say DH participation as no. You say the Joint Terrorism Task Force only includes CBP and the FBI, when ICE literally says they are one of the largest contributors to JTTFs across the country, probably including this one. Are you lying to us, or are you just hoping we'll be too confused to call it what it is? Because either way, this isn't a report, it's a cover-up. And you, this commission, you sit here pretending you're the oversight body, but what are you overseeing? What are you reviewing? You rubber stamp every single lie LAPD feeds you and calls it accountability. You nod your heads and sign your names and let this department run wild with federal agents sharing data that leads to raids, deportations, and detention. You're the civilian face of state violence. You write the paperwork that gives it credibility. You exist to create the illusion that someone is watching, while LAPD deepens its collusion with the very agencies that target immigrant communities. LAPD has been working hand in hand with ICE and HSI for decades, through CopLink, now Crime Tracer, through Index, through fusion centers, through bullshit task forces that are so deeply embedded in federal systems you can't even separate who's who. And now you expect us to believe this report means anything. This is smoke and mirrors, and you, all of you, are very complicit. Next comes in, we have Jill.
Hi, I'm gonna still take the 3 minutes, okay? You just discussed the swatting calls. You're so concerned with the swatting calls? What about the swatting calls of Scott Hochstetter? The last swatting call I saw of Scott Hochstetter was on Ron Hubbard Way, when I saw them pull up on him like it was like a big major invasion in a World War II theater. I saw the total incompetence on the live streams. You guys sat around like you didn't know what to do. You didn't see any crimes happening. Mr. Hochstetter didn't do anything. You guys looked like I was watching an episode of Reno 911. I thought I was watching a real funny episode of like a Keystone Cops parody. It was total embarrassment. If you had any other police officer across this country, or let's get this, how about we have Grady Judd? He's one of the funniest sheriffs out of Florida, Polk County. I'm sure you've seen plenty of YouTube videos on him. He would totally roast you guys. It's just a joke. We're trying to expose the criminality of a cult that is doing such atrocities against people, crimes of humanity that you would see being tried in tribunals like they were done at Judgment at Nuremberg, when the Nazis said they were just following orders. Are you just following orders? Whose orders are you guys following? It's unbelievable what I'm seeing. This is not an hate crime. Mr. Hockman, you fellow Jew, what the hell are you doing pressing charges on a hate crime when Mr. Hochstetter is fighting the very crimes that was done to our people during the Holocaust in Auschwitz and Plaszow and Buchenwald and Dachau and Drancy and all of the ghettos all across Europe? How dare you do this? Why don't you do some homework, all of you, and see what's going on inside the cult? The Anti-Defamation League would laugh their butts off at you if you said that removing a wreath is a hate crime. Hate crimes are actually breaking glass like on Kristallnacht, like totally putting swastikas all over buildings. This is not being done to the Scientology buildings. We're trying to expose crime that you would shudder if it were done to your children. Wake up. This is disgusting. Bye.
Great job, Amy. Great job.
Next video, please.
So Grace began to talk about how this week you have a whole section on immigration enforcement. A report, in fact, on how you're allegedly complying with Senate Bill 54, which would have you report on how you participate in joint task forces when there's another federal agency involved. You state your report on the purpose of the task force, which federal, state, and law enforcement agencies are involved, and how many arrests were made. Your document has some of these reports. And the reality is that we won't see what you decide to, the reality is that you get to decide what you report on in every instance. You won't see every single task force or the complete totality of arrests or searches or detainments because you get to choose what goes in it. Your reports are misleading, confusing, inaccurate, and selectively report which information you'd like to share. This sounds just like every time Teresa and Jim talk, misleading, confusing, and frankly inaccurate. Jim, last meeting you gave pigs 72 hours to get their story straight before their interview. But unfortunately, it seems like you don't take that time before you come to this meeting every day at 9:30 because every single time you talk, you're confusing, misleading, and inaccurate. In fact, you seem to be unable to get your story straight on whether or not LAPD collaborates with immigration enforcement. At least have a consistent line, not fluctuating ones. In fact, this report from this week obfuscates the realities multiple times throughout, as the number of agencies on each task force remain inconsistent when cross-checked with news reports from that same year. Grace already talked about the cyber fraud task force, but another example is that when LAPD describes the LA Regional Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, which it leads, by the way, is inconsistent in reporting, well, I'm surprised and shocked, how many agencies are on the task force. In December 2024, LAPD stated that there are 103 law enforcement agencies on the task force, including ICE, whom task force members work closely with so they can, quote, from you guys, work together and collaborate on cases. While reporting on this task force in this year's report, LAPD only lists 4 other agencies, including HSI. In its 2022 report on this task force, LAPD only lists 1 agency, again, HSI, as participating on this task force, and notes that HSI made 34 arrests that year. But in a 2022 media release, LAPD describes engaging in operations that year with 64 affiliate law enforcement agencies. Some task forces LAPD participates on are not listed at all, in fact. While LAPD is a leading member of the Organized Retail Crimes Task Force, announced by BASS in 2023, in which LAPD works with multiple agencies, including the U.S. Marshals, FBI, and the local fusion center, JRIC, this task force is not listed at all in 2023 and 2024 reports, presumably because another California agency is already reporting on it, but we don't know. So this task force, which is facilitating the expansion of LAPD mass surveillance in communities by expanding real-time crime centers to all LAPD divisions, and the addition of automatic light
Thank you.
area surrounding shopping centers, all of the
Thank
data
you.
is shared with local fusion
Your
centers.
time
We
is
don't talk about it
expired.
at all.
Thank you, Brianne and Grace, for laying it out there. And this is again, an example of the complete failure of the dunces that we have sitting up here. Because here's the deal. So the SB 54, the 2017 Values Act states that if multiple California LEAs, law enforcement agencies, participate in a joint law enforcement task force, only one California law enforcement agency to be designated by the task force shall submit the report on behalf of the task force. So it basically it releases every other agency, only one agency. If there are over 100 agencies, one needs to report. And this is the game that is being played. This is the complicity. This is how the language of legislation is written to completely. But did they know that? Did they ask that where is the complete list? What is going on over here? Who is involved in this thing? So even the DOJ report says that it relies on police for the completeness and accuracy of the data. And they're saying, quote, that there is no list of all task forces for comparison. So there you go. Some task forces are not even mentioned, as Grace and Brianne talked about. LAPD is a member, and they're maps. They had a big hoopla about it. Member of the Organized Retail Theft Task Force, which works with U.S. Marshals, FBI, Joint Regional Intelligence Center, the Fusion Center. LAPD is a member of the illicit pharmaceutical and counterfeit unit that works with ICE and HSI. That is not listed. Then task forces that are listed don't even have all the agencies that are listed. There are over 100 agencies on the LA Regional Internet Crime Against Children Task Force, but LAPD lists only 4. The reports, as again, people have said, they're misleading, they're absolutely confusing, inaccurate, and selectively report which information to share. They also had no way of being verified in terms of how many arrests were made by federal agencies. This is described as known arrests. Also, how many investigations, detainments, deportations, interrogations of people were made in connection with the immigration enforcement as a result of any of these operations is simply not known. So with all the intelligence gathering that happens, with all the task forces that LAPD is a part of for many, many years, what happens to that data? This is what happens. You have millions and millions of data points that are constantly going because it is done under the guise of criminal intelligence gathering. And all of these agencies, people's families' information is there. Give you one example. The National Law Enforcement Telecommunication System, NLEX, when it started, ICE said in 2011 that they already had over 1 billion transactions. And now in 2024, the FBI talked about you can't even count the numbers anymore. And LAPD is a major part of that. This is what we talk about, this fallacy and the lie of Sanctuary City. This is the bogus information that you're releasing, and it is on all of you that that people's lives are being destroyed, and young people are being tortured in fucking El Salvador and places like that.
Just to continue on where Hamid left off, this is a farce. It's theater, it's performance. This reporting is incomplete, and it's entirely performative. And I think I want to uplift 2 things particularly. One, your officers are largely ideologically aligned. The violence that we see perpetuated among young folks, the unconstitutional, I'm using that in quotes because from our standpoint, the Constitution is a framework for oppression. It's not a means of protection. But the unconstitutional deportation of young people. And we hear that from your officers, right? From the folks who dial in, right? Who are clearly police officers who are disgruntled in some way, who invoke Chief McDonald's name in making the LAPD great again. This mirroring of language isn't a coincidence. It's a dog whistle, right? And it's very clear. And so the other thing I kind of want to name is how ubiquitous this information sharing is. Last week, the Washington Post reported how the United States Postal Service and their policing arm, the Postal Inspection Service, is also collaborating with ICE to share information. And they're sharing, quote, Postal Service online account data, package and mailing tracking information, credit card data, and financial material and IP addresses. So there's so many redundancies built in, as folks have named out. Other agencies are in play, even innocuous and benign services. And with this ideological alignment, it's no surprise that we see the LAPD jump in to provide traffic support for ICE raids, as we've seen in this city in the past couple of months. And so just to say, this is bullshit. Secondly, I want to bring up, it was May Day recently, International Workers' Day. And we saw an insufferable tweet from a Skid Row police officer named Dion Joseph, who brutalized Skid Row members routinely. One kind of suggesting that the LAPD somehow provides protection in this time of protest. We also had 3 LAPD officers at MacArthur Park show up and intimidate protesters. And just to say, the history of LAPD and policing has been one of squashing dissent, squashing protests. And so I'm really pleased that people even uplifted this kind of interest and policy to criminalize protests further that popped up last year, specifically around houses of worship. That was pushed by Councilmember Katie Yaroslavsky and by the LAPD. And it was opposed by SEIU, UHW, the labor union, UTLA, the teachers union, Jewish Voice for Peace, so many community organizations. But the LAPD did go around along with Katie Yaroslavsky's office trying to lobby support for this motion. And in the Las Feliz neighborhood council specifically, the Church of Scientology showed up and explicitly supported this protest motion that everybody opposed, that lawyers called unconstitutional, in order to more readily brutalize and criminalize protesters' lawsuits. And it's not just going to be people opposing Scientology, it's going to be anybody. That's the police's function. It's to squash protest. And so just to name this institution is to do violence, and you guys welcome to talk. Go ahead.
Thank you for that.
That was embarrassing.
So it's Officer Appreciation Month. You know what I think a lot of people would appreciate from the LAPD? Is if you guys agreed to cut your budget. You guys take up more than any department by far. And now 1,600 jobs are being cut, including over 400 jobs from your civilians. If I was your civilian employees, I'd be pissed as fuck at y'all. Because I gotta lose my job because you guys have sexual harassment claims on you. You have police brutality claims, excessive use of force claims, all up into the hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's not coming out of your budget. It's not coming out of your pension. It's not coming out of your overtime pay. It's causing your civilian staff to lose their job, over 400 of them. Doesn't that piss you off? Doesn't that make you mad? Why are you paying for what they did? You guys could make a proposal to take that money out of their budget, but you won't do it. This fool can agree to cut down his pay. He gets paid over almost $500,000. You can take that to 150 and still live. That would save like a couple dozen jobs. You won't do it. We know you won't do the things that would actually save these people jobs. The only thing you'll do is get up here and cry about how sad you are that you gotta see them go. And I'm telling you, if I was a civilian here working for the LAPD, I would be pissed as fuck. I'd be at the city council asking them to defund the police. Because this is ridiculous. The city is starting to crumble apart, and it's because you all won't do your job. You all won't hold police accountable. You won't defund the police. And so now the city and the city workers are having to pay the price for your incompetence, for your lack of ability to keep in check these animals. I shouldn't call y'all animals, that's disrespectful to animals. These demons. It's sad. And we don't come here because we know you're gonna do anything. We come here because we know that the best place to show how inadequate, how inept, how uncaring, how incompassionate the city of Los Angeles government is to take people to the LA Police Commission.
Right.
That's why we come here every week. But y'all can prove me wrong. See if you want to say you're gonna cut your paycheck right now. Prove me wrong, make me look stupid. Ain't gonna do it. Anyway.
Thank you.
Hard to watch today, y'all are getting humiliated. So the OIS item on the agenda today is for Alexander Aguilar Larios, who was shot June 11th, 2024. The agenda says January 11th, 2024 for A. Aguilar, although it's not outside the realm of possibility that you just shot two different A. Aguilars. So I believe you don't have either his full name or his date of death correct in the agenda. We heard from another community member today about officer misconduct in the employment division. That's the same division responsible for this shooting. Alex, as his mother calls him, in her statements to the press, was 20 years old, and he was the passenger of a car that was pulled over for speeding. And Alexander started running as soon as the car was pulled over. His mom reported that he was afraid of the police. He'd been profiled as a gang member. LAPD gang member Daniel Ramirez shot Alex in the back while he was running away. So I'm interested in Teresa's review of the beautiful critical incident video that Chief Moore so graciously provided to us. My favorite line of the movie is when Captain Kelly Muniz says, as Aguilar Larios stood up to continue fleeing, an officer-involved shooting occurred. I guess you can't just say, as Alexander stood up to run away, Daniel Ramirez shot him in the back. The critical incident video also includes a favorite piece of LAPD movie magic, a slow-mo zoom-in of a particular moment completely out of context, which might vaguely look like the suspect is sort of looking in the direction of the officer. Critical incident videos are LAPD marketing spots, whose purpose is to justify the actions of the officer literally no matter what. Facts and footage are twisted to an unbelievable degree, and this video is no different. Captain Kelly Muniz says early in the video that officers began immediately administering aid after Alexander was shot, but the body cam footage shows they did not start doing chest compressions until 8 minutes later. At the end of the video, Kelly Muniz also says that Alex died from his gunshot wound when there were multiple gunshot wounds. The most painful part of watching these fucking videos is you think about all the other ones that you've seen. People dying similarly and needlessly at the hands of LAPD. Ramirez kept barking at Alex, put your hands above your head, as his 20-year-old, nearly lifeless body lay limp on the ground. It reminded me of Jose Robles, shot as he was walking away, and in that critical incident video, you used a ridiculous slow-mo freeze frame to claim he was pointing a gun at the officer, and they weren't even able to make charges stick against Jose for threatening a peace officer because that was such bullshit. There's never enough time. Fuck you guys, stop canceling meetings, we can't get through it all.
So it's been a number of weeks, but because this meeting is such a fucking sham and so deeply unserious, I think it's worth bringing up LAPD's embarrassing and accidentally very funny Women's History Month presentation. It's hilarious that Curtis McIntyre, one of the very top officers in LAPD's diversity, equity, and inclusion group, is so incompetent, even at just performing DEI, that he opted to conduct most of the presentation about them and himself. It is so classic LAPD to fail even at paying token slips over diversity. And it's also very classic LAPD to not be able to produce more than one current woman officer to speak proudly about this institution, given that your women officers are almost constantly being sexually harassed or worse by their male colleagues. It can't be called a work environment because what occurs here is not labor. But given what an apocalyptic shit show this building is for women, I'm a little curious about the one female officer you did manage to scrounge up, Erica Kirk. And it turns out that there's a lot of information about her because she appears to be going out of her way to be some kind of fascist girl boss influencer with over 17,000 followers on her very public-facing Instagram and a slew of podcasts and other media appearances over the years. A detective supervisor, vice president of LAPOA, and according to her social media bios, a spiritual gangster who raked in nearly $184,000 2 years ago. Kirk will brag into any microphone that will stand still long enough about her time as a vice squad officer investigating human trafficking. She's eager to weaponize her own femininity, assuring listeners that it's okay to be a girly officer, and emphasizing her use of her gender and posing as an undercover prostitute and what she describes as the cutthroat world of LA, which really speaks to the central paradox of LAPD's fear-mongering about crime in order to procure endless budget increases. If LA is really so cutthroat, that means you fuckers aren't doing your job. And Kirk's framing of herself as someone who protects the most vulnerable individuals in our society from the evils of human and sex trafficking is, in addition to being very patronizing, frankly, a fucking crock of shit. These elaborate sting operations waste catastrophic sums of taxpayer money as part of a deliberate state strategy to keep thousands of Angelinos unhoused and under-resourced. And they yield almost literally zero arrests of human traffickers. Both the practice and the intent of the city's war on human trafficking is to target sex workers and their clients and the victims of trafficking themselves, such as Linda Becerra Moran. The Foothill Division officers who murdered Linda a few months ago knew they had been called to rescue a woman who was being held against her will. And yet the pig who shot her pursued her only as a subhuman threat to his own safety, backing away in fear as he opened fire on a crying and anguished woman. By failing to provide even a semblance of oversight for countless prior incidents of LAPD's institutional racism and trans misogyny, this commission is responsible for Linda's death.
Thank you.
Shame on you guys.
Embarrassing. Let's leave.
Mr. President, that's 45 minutes.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and take one more Zoom speaker.
And then they had, on that thing, they had a, history month, they had a woman who had a
Sir, we have a speaker on Zoom. Please allow the person to speak. Thank you.
So I'm just giving y'all his.
Please allow this person to speak. You had your 3 minutes.
Just give me history.
I would love to speak on all I think, please.
In the white sweatshirt, this is your person last warning. You're welcome.
Thank you. Chief, you mentioned the French government and the Olympics at the beginning of this speech. Did you know that in France, Scientology is considered a harmful cult, and that the French government issued a warning against recruitment outside of the Olympic Stadium during the French Olympic Games in Paris? Last week you had Lara Anderson, thank you for coming back, Lara, another child victim of the Scientology abuses, come to you asking for help to bring Scientology to account and cut your ties. They have been safe pointed. For years, LAPD has been in the pockets of them from the 60s. It's documented. I have sent you a letter and a video proof of a child who ran away from strangers' houses in the neighborhood of the Blue Building, begging for them not to call LAPD because LAPD has their own division that works directly with Scientology. Janet Whelan, Kirsten Catano-Peterson, Hendrik Moxon all know about these abuses and have been silencing people for years. Look what happened to Paulette Cooper during Operation Snow White, the biggest infiltration of the US government by Scientology. It was found that they had framed Paulette Cooper, one of their biggest critics, with a bomb threat. It was all documented. Separate yourself away from them. They are a harmful cult and you are complicit. Thank you, and I yield back my time.
Thank you. We're now moving on to agenda item number 3, the consent agenda items. We have consent agenda items 3A through M.
Try not to skip next week, Daryl.
Are there any comments or questions?
Until we show you $600,000 salaries for 2024.
Hearing none, I move that we approve the consent agenda items 3A. And is there a second? All in second, all in favor, say aye.
Do you want me to stay here with you, or do you want me, I can stay here
We
with you?
now move on
I'll stay
to
here with you.
agenda item number 4.
I was gonna go to the city, call me, the city council meeting and speak there. Well, they're probably doing public.
We're gonna go ahead and take a 10-minute recess. We'll come back at 11. Thank you.
They're gonna close. So you gonna go to city? Yeah. I'm gonna, yeah. Oh, I got it. That's all right. I might forget it. Yeah, because I want to hope that we can get into the. I usually have my friend, like people sign me up over there. So, thank you. Yeah, like the regular city council meeting. Oh, wait, did we lose? We lost bike guy. All right, let's go. Things stuff. I just want to put this in the trash, maybe.
You're not wearing yellow.
It's under. Just kidding. I'm like, it's my pants. Oh, your lunch is getting squished because I keep telling you not to put it there.
It's called a smash burger.
Yeah, it's a smash burger now. Yeah, you know, I did hear something about.
So that's what you were talking about, how they showed up to support the protest.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they.
Kendrick and Jennifer.
I didn't know that they went with the
That's
police
what I
to
wanted to
that.
find out,
Right,
if he
me
knows
too.
who it was.
Yeah, or what more, where we can look. I'm gonna do a CPRA request. I knew that they support
Oh,
it,
there you go.
because
I
I've
wanna
seen
hear what they-
CPRA.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that,
I want to hear what they said.
guys, they rocked it again.
Yeah, thank you.
I wanna ask him about the Scientology though. What-
You know who was there? You know, was it Kendrick Moxon and Jennifer?
They weren't attorneys. They were.
Was Janet Whelan?
Yeah, elder lady with short black hair and really short and nicely dressed.
It was like an older white lady and an older white man. I don't remember their names precisely, but I think they were trying to join the Public Safety Committee for the Los Feliz Neighborhood Council.
Yeah.
So if you were
Yeah, sounds like-
attendees for that meeting, I'm sure.
So Los Feliz, when was this? Like back?
This would have been.
Because I knew they were supporting it, but I didn't know that they actually took a tour. Yeah, we need to do more.
No, they were
So it's
there
Los
to support
Feliz?
it. George What's the Peace, myself and a couple of an attorney were there to oppose it, and they were there to. vocally-
Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to find out. So it's the Los Feliz Neighborhood Council. I get the CPRA.
Yeah, and then it was the
Thank you
Public
for
Safety
speaking up.
Committee specifically,
This
yeah.
Public Safety Committee.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because I knew they supported it because I seen CPRAs where they're pushing for that, but I didn't know they're going like in person.
Yeah.
So that is really helpful. So thank you.
Specific case that Scott Hofstadter is, they put 16 misdemeanors and 6 felonies.
For using a bullhorn.
For using
They're
bullhorn.
saying it's a hate crime because they have 12.
Where they
They
use
had that
them
in Skid Row with our.
Yeah, fucking,
Yeah.
no.
I remember when they dropped the Constitution for Skid Row. Even like,
That's so insane. And
If they're saying it's hate
Kendrick
crime.
Moxon. So, yeah.
It was Wednesday, November 13th. Is the specific day.
Hey guys, remember, somebody text me that, or I mean, somebody email me that date because I guess I could, or clip this please. November 16th, 13th. Los Feliz Public Safety. I'll CPRA it.
It was public safety.
But then there's probably others as well.
Yeah.
But I'll just, if I had to do all, I'll do.
It seems like they might like go to that meeting pretty consistently.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have a bunch of they have their missions there. They have a lot of Los Feliz is very Scientology.
Is it? Yeah, and it's right near the blue
A
building.
lot of Scientologists live in Las Vegas.
That makes sense.
They live there for a while. Me too. Oh my
Yes.
God. I always get the scoop of PTSD, and it's just something I physically can't shake off. I can't.
Were you there when I got kicked out because they were going to kick her?
Yeah.
They were so like Russia was so.
So I hate
rude to her.
Kinda, you know, the minute you're like, and I'm like, did you hear? At least just say you heard what I said.
I mean,
and they wouldn't answer, and I was like, why? That's not illegal to just say, yes, I heard you.
No, for sure.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
I mean, they're going to say Brown Act, whatever, but even still, to explain that, I said, just
I'm
explain.
begging for approval from the abusers.
It's an abuse. Yeah, they're just, it's all performative.
And from the people who never
don't
were there.
violate the Brown Act for other things, you know, police
Yes.
are keeping time to time, just like Harold was.
Well,
now, so.
he always interrupts speakers, and he interrupts a lot of our speakers, I've noticed. A lot of our speakers, he interrupts them for people who aren't even really
Who's training?
disrupting.
Is there
Like,
a training where they actually train them to be like that? That's a group fucking agreement
Yeah,
thing.
well, they're
That's like,
picked, they're
stop.
handpicked.
Literally, yeah. That's what I was like,
They're handpicked by, you know,
yeah,
who they want. But you know, Rasha, people, you know, now Rasha herself, she came to the public safety of Toluca Lake and asked them to please write a letter of support for LAPD because their officers are, what do you call it? I guess need encouragement. And I said to her face, like, I don't think that's her job to do that. Her job, like, is to, you know, it's really to be accountability. Why, right? Why are you soliciting neighborhood councils to, give, kisses and hugs to, the police officers?
Might
That's
be
not her job.
elucidating her real job, you know? That could be what that is.
Maybe. All right.
I appreciate talking to you.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that so much.
Hearing your guys' perspective.
Yeah.
On everything you guys are fighting for. Yeah. Exactly.
I know.
Why do you think you can do this?
All my chat, they always love you. They're all. That's why I stay for all you guys too. My chat. Yeah, a lot of people will hear you guys, and they all appreciate you.
These guys are for hire.
Literally, Scientology hires them all the fucking time.
They give them a lot of money. People don't understand. People need to wake up about Scientology. They pay a lot of money.
So I feel like it's the same police officers every time there's an issue, and they hate us. So it's like, you guys are insane. You guys are a game. This is a game. Scientology is a game. You're doing everything. You literally have the police in your pockets. You're fucking gay. You're not a religion. You're not even a
Yeah, they give a lot of money to LAPD too, and I think they do it through the police league.
They repay
Oh, I have to go this way.
inside.
I know. I have to go this way. I have to go for the. I can't go down the stairs. Okay, guys, that was really good. I know I probably missed public comment over there, but that was worth it. Good. See, and
No, they have the boss feels that's where Danny and everybody.
see, we learned some. I'm glad I came. We learned a lot.
Before he went to
So I will see PRA all that.
Yeah. Wow, audit.
So maybe I need to start. Maybe we start.
I was happy you were there. I was like,
Yeah.
what audits?
I wasn't going to be. Well, I was at the fire, but I got out, and it was like I don't think I could go here in time, but it was right there, so I was able to get here. I was so
thought I was
happy.
gonna be late, and I was like, Ashley, could you ask her to put?
I did. Yeah, if I know you're coming, I'll sign you up.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, you did amazing. It was going on for minutes and minutes about how great you did.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they loved it.
Because I wrote the notes down instead of trying to type in my phone, which I can't even do because I'm like all the wrong letters going in.
Well, and little, like you said, as you get used to it, as you get, and I told her, but that's why, but I said her, I told her before you had to go up that make it right. I told her, like, she could have explained if she wants to be so Brown Act, specific, all she had to say, it was explained, I can't respond to you, it's against Brown Act violation.
Yeah, or she could have said yes.
She could have explained it, or yes, I hear you, or break the Brown Act.
That's not
Well, she had
against the law to
choices.
say,
Well, it is against the Brown Act,
you.
but they break the Brown Act all the time. So she chose at that time not to break it. So even if she doesn't want to break it, she could have explained it.
Is that really breaking the Brown
Yeah,
Act
it
to
is.
acknowledge?
Yeah, they're not allowed.
To acknowledge?
Yeah, they're not allowed to respond.
Not even acknowledge what I'm saying, but
No.
just that she heard what I said.
Yeah.
Excuse me, why is it
Because
okay for
it's-
them to call in and say, do you hear me?
Because,
And they say, yes, we
well,
can
that's
hear
it
you.
before they speak, I guess, and they're,
Bullshit. That's what I'm saying. That's how robotic
Well,
it is.
I know.
just want you to know, you don't even have to handle it right now, but did you hear me?
Right.
I just need to make sure my voice was heard.
Right, but I get the technical answer is yes, because it's not a public, it's public comment, not public conversation. So that is technically yes.
It's not public understanding.
Right, technically yes, she was right, but she didn't handle it correctly. Right there, but she could have explained it, or she could have just said, shook her head yes, or said yes, but we have to. She could have broken the ground. They do all the time. But yeah, I mean, I'm just being fair. Technically, yes, but she is allowed to explain the rules, and she didn't. She is, you know what? She assumes that you're like, because you know what? They hear all. I call them gadflies, the regulars. So they hear them all the time. So they act like everyone knows all these rules.
Oh, like of the time. And
Yeah,
all
like
that.
right, and how it works.
And if you're not.
Right, I'm like, she's no. That's what I said. She
I
doesn't.
do
She's
feel
not
that
one
they
of
were
us.
all, when I went up, they were all, listen,
They were, I
going,
felt so
oh, it's
too.
her again. And I was like, look, guys, I kind of have to. be
Yeah, you have to
somewhat,
build.
like, I have to build, you to be like, hey, look, guys, I'm my PT. Look, we're all working on my PTSD,
Right,
okay?
right. We're working on it.
You are all helping.
But you have to build a little bit,
so it's
right?
kind of like that. I have to be like, hey, guys, look, my PTSD is on a little better. Oh, you remember? Okay, good.
And I think
then I went right into, remember, I just want to know if you had 10 minutes to look up the Operation
Keep
Snow
bringing
White
that
on
up,
YouTube,
it's
because
important.
that will bring them down the hole.
You know what? Send it to them. Send them the link.
I'm
I'll send them
thinking of making little packlets.
Do it, and I'll get it out, or I'll give you the address. Either way, but because the thing is,
We have a new printing person. Wow.
awesome.
So.
Like, because I think it's good to build. Because for me, in my opinion, what they do, the other guys, like they're not there to make friends, but they're there to get, But like, we need them to not be our friends, but we need them to hear us. And so, like, all the vinegar's not. We have to have balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it would be
so
nice
building rapport is
even
good.
the police showing up to Blue and not being on one side, be on both.
Oh, well, they totally
sides.
protected my rights, and I
That's
feel
what I
that
mean.
that's
That's
all
the-
this.
Wow, we have to give them
Yes.
a gold now.
And that's saying, I know that I forgot to say that.
Unbelievable.
It's sad. That should be the
There should be
assumed,
police
right?
officers, like
All the
Department of
time.
Traffic, standing there since there's so many violations
Yep.
of L. Ron.
Did you see my new CPRA thing I posted last night?
Yeah.
That how he doesn't say we're innocent, that she's falsely accusing us. He's just mad that I'm going out demanding enforcement. I'm like, what an idiot. That guy is so dumb. It's like, I don't sit there and usually call people names, but I'm sorry. There's a level of stupidity that.
You're talking about Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah.
No,
And I have more coming, but I just gotta.
It's not only dumb, it's very thoughtful, manipulative, dirty evilness. You're literally treating another human or other people bad for your own advantage.
But he thinks we don't see through it. That we're not gonna call him out on it. And if
I think he is annoyed that we're learning that we can call him out and actually get something done about it now.
Yeah, that's right. That they're losing.
But I think he thought that
they're losing
these guys
reputation.
don't know the law.
Yeah.
now
And
we're
we know
like,
our
okay,
rights.
well, we'll learn it.
Oh, how much is it? Really? I'll take a donut. I'll take a donut. Yeah. I'll take a donut. Oh, we're not gonna fight it.
We don't need to take the whole box, right?
No. I'll take one.
Ooh, I will definitely take one. Spice
So
up
let
my
me see.
I don't drink coffee or
I
I'll
do.
be jumping off this planet.
I want to see what else I have.
I'll be like,
I do. I want to be jumping
I'm
off
too
that.
caffeinated naturally.
Right. I want to
Okay,
see.
here's some nappies.
I want to see
Do you
there.
want one?
I don't think we're gonna get into speak.
Don't lie to me.
There's water.
She wants it.
We'll share water. Okay.
I want.
Or do you want to share it? You want to use the whole thing?
Figured out a great way to get everyone to show up.
Donuts. Yeah. Hey TLA, I've been trying to get a story with you guys.
For you guys.
Well, what do you think I'm here?
Here, can you close this for me? I'm sorry.
Well, we're here.
For Scientology. Get them to do a story on us.
My dad and parents are executive minutes and gets connected from this. We're here. We've been coming to City Hall.
Well, tell them how they're holding your dad basically hostage. That they won't let do a wellness check.
I saw him last year when I was protesting, and he was pushing his cart. So I yelled.
You know, years ago, I had a business partner, and we had some roommates. Out of the roommate.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He was gonna go to like a meeting, and then he didn't show up, and then they like showed up at my friend's house.
Yeah, you
looking
go to your
for him.
door because they see
So, like,
where you put your address.
Yeah.
Really, they're so unaware of legal rules and laws and like boundaries.
Yeah, I
because
was-
they're so
it was like-
manipulative and they have one purpose, and that's to recruit you.
Let me get out of the way. Watch your foot. Watch your foot.
That was like,
Am I too late for the donuts?
Like,
Hopefully. I'm
No,
late for the
no, it's
donuts.
plenty. There's a lot there.
I was born and raised in the
I don't usually.
the organization.
I need a sugar, like a sugar boost. I'll take it.
So it took me forever to realize, oh wait, not only do I not need to be feared, by authority, but the actual authority
guys
is
here?
supposed to be there protecting the kids on me.
Right.
So now it's like a mixture of PTSD, walking up to these things.
Amy's saying, explain your
and even
abuse.
strength, you know?
Explain the abuse you endured.
Yeah, no, they had us signing million-year contracts.
They still
auditing,
do.
Ethics, they still do. They have us on 24-hour schedules. So, and we were kids thinking that the work and this labor we were doing, we were building, making everything clean. And then like gruesome jobs were like really bad. Like, and they would be
Like laying bricks on LRH way?
And we would do it all away from the world, knowing that, oh, we were the future executives of psychology, and this is how we're going to clear the planet and take over the city and the government.
Right.
Everything. We're going to get our religious status.
I'm here for another story, but.
I was like, what story do you want to have?
But that's a good story. So you should go. If
You want to get my info?
Well,
and you can say, hey, I got a story for you.
Go to Calculate at calculate.com,
Okay.
and then you can submit your story idea. Because I've been in
They get
Calculate,
filtered.
because I've been there at Calculate for like 22 years, and I give them story ideas all the time, and I've had, I think, like 3 in 22 years. So you have a better chance
Of me going in from the.
But human trafficking is such a big deal,
No,
and
he's
that's
just saying it's a great story, but or whatever. It could be pushed through. It would just.
But it's a human trafficking story, and that's
Maybe
such a
if
big
you
issue. Especially, well, tell them about how they use their status there.
I got to run. I got to hang out with you guys.
You can stay in line.
There's my
We're
chat.
going in there. We're going in.
Yeah. I mean, I want a
We're going
coffee.
into where they're going.
I want no. You got to get him to. You got to get him to push it. Tell him to push it anyway.
Yeah, I said no. That's what he was saying.
And that's the
So if
human
I do it, then
trafficking.
he can help push it.
Okay. That's the human trafficking and how they use the R1 visas.
Before you go, I don't know.
It was so nice that they gave us some. No, they're trying to get in to see the meeting. Now, if they didn't sign me up, I'm in trouble.
Who's supposed to sign you up?
Shirt guy.
What about Laura Megan?
You wouldn't have. I didn't know you were
That's
coming.
okay. I'll just see. I'll just watch. I want to know the ropes.
You know what? Let's run to I mean, we can go in go to the mayor's office. I have to. Hold on, let me go up front.
No, I don't think that whoever signs
They always let me go in, huh?
Yeah, they signed on up already.
Possibly, but I want to go up there. I need to get up there because if I could talk to the supervisor.
You don't talk to them.
Whatever happened to bike guy? I need to go into. I need to. Because they don't make me wait back here. They always let me go in. They don't always let people come in with me, but we'll try. We'll try. They didn't let Matt do it, but they let but we'll try. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Right.
¿Tiene un espacio así como
Generaciones.
How
are you?
Good, how you doing? Hola.
Got it?
Yeah, I already.
Right here on the left. Yep. No.
Oh, can you get a sandwich?
It's okay.
The bag, his sandwich bag.
Yeah.
No,
No, it's not hitting. Go ahead. It's your wheel. You gotta turn the wheel this way.
Right, close this some so it's
Yeah, there
like
you
flat.
go. Now go-
Close
turn
this
it.
more. No,
Go-
close this more. Yeah, then it's like yeah.
There you go. Boom. There you go.
All right. Thank you. Just coming back in. We went to the fire.
I also want to do measurements on your the height.
Okay, Mike, can you put this in? Okay. Well, we're gonna meet you up there, because you take forever.
You're on level four?
Three, yeah. You had to go through there. No, I have to go through here. They have to let me in. You have to go through there to make sure you don't, yeah. Probably missed public speaking already. It's all right, there's a few more meetings today. Yeah, I'm redoing. Oh, can I have my stuff? Put it mine?
Oh, I have it.
Oh, okay, thanks. I got scared. Oh, okay, this one. I have a sticky already.
That's police station.
No, it's not. It's for here. For the, yeah, we have ours already. Whose is this? Oh, I think no worries. That didn't feel heavier, and yours is so light. I'll swap you. Wait. Yeah, I just want to put it on my arm.
Yeah, do you want both of them, or is that? Yeah.
Oh, this is whatever. It's all right. We'll meet you up there.
Copies, third floor.
Yeah. All righty. We have our work. We're going to find out about most police. That was, I am so
well,
glad we
that's
went.
so
That was
important
so.
because that shows literally all the way to pushing that law,
And
pushing that law through, you know?
not only
It was only a
oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll get him later. He'll meet us up there. Come on, guys. Come on. Don't worry about him. He'll meet us up because they have to. Don't worry about him.
I just smacked his.
Oh, he already has it. Yeah, we came earlier, so we already.
Oh.
I don't know why they're giving us. Yeah.
That's so important though.
It is, so we're gonna be on it.
Literally is, you know what we say about the puzzle
Yes.
pieces? That's so important that those, whoever that was representing.
Oh, this is second.
Oh, we're saying.
What, are you second?
me.
That's you? Okay. Okay, lunchtime, huh? That's the
Oh, I was like, it
commissary.
smells like.
That's homeboy.
Burning and something yummy. Something like the grills just started up. But yeah, that's so important.
It is. So we're gonna. They have like online.
I really
I'll do their
do
meetings.
love the, yeah, more on that.
I should let you go first.
I love that he had the date and everything because he put
Yes.
his notes, I think, for when
Was it
he was like,
November
oh, there's
13th, he said,
he
right?
November 16th.
I think 13th.
Yeah, I wrote it.
November 13th is my birthday. Yeah, it's 13th because I remember it's like, oh, my birthday's on the 13th. 16th? I could swear. All right, well, I'll look that week. I'll see what's going on.
See how much better it was when I.
You want to? Yeah.
What can I talk about?
You can do public comment for a minute. Whatever, anything.
On anything?
Yeah, that's within city purview.
Okay.
Just like, yeah, so just, and then put your whatever name you want.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
Okay, that's good. No, not everyone. It may be too late. We'll find out. It looks like it might be. No, but I'm happy. No, that was really good.
Same thing I said after.
You could.
Literally,
Hi.
say, please help with all this abuse.
Yeah. You can shame Council District 13. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did we miss it? Oh, shoot, I didn't sign in. Did we miss public comment? Oh, man, we missed it. So if we missed it, yeah, we missed it, but there's a 2 o'clock meeting, but we can go around to the mayor's. Go around if you want to. Let me just say hi. I know. I was at the police. Jesus, I was at the police. I had to go to the police. Oh man, Laura just gave. No, be friends. That's how. It's okay. He's the one who always does the cell phone guy. This is Laura. She grew up in Scientology. She's a good. So whenever I'm saying about Laura Scientology, that's her. He's been speaking up for us too.
Settlement agreement.
Yeah. And where's our puppy? I was like, and that's Dusty. What, is he okay?
Does not actually provide all TOC units a searchable online database. It only provides certain subsets. That's why
See the bumps on the skin?
Yeah, oh my baby.
requesting that the housing department create a centralized,
Scabs.
You know I love you. You know it. He's always like.
He signed this morning across the street. Right away.
That's my baby. He's like, he knows I love him.
People he likes.
Okay, so things have changed. Coach Sand is now going to be deputy mayor for community relations.
Oh, we got promoted.
Yes, promoted to the mayor. So I might just go over there.
For housing across our community. People look at larger.
All right, so
buildings and they often see
yeah, we missed public comment. Sorry.
Largest number of total housing
No.
in Los Angeles through this incentive and density program. This will allow them to have.
So when the next meeting, well, the 2 o'clock is, there's a 2 o'clock.
Huge crowd.
For the 2 o'clock?
Airport, $30 minimum wage, that one.
So we better sign up right away.
Yeah. But he said he's gonna go. He said he's not staying. Yeah, I gotta leave.
Oh, because of the puppy?
And then I have to help somebody else.
Then there's the 3:31 too.
I probably will go to the airport over that. That way it's very intense. No, you just stay here till 3.
Okay, with that, I believe we, our closed session item.
Well, we could do, since Laura's here, I need her to,
We could move to closed session for.
okay, they're going to close. So what we can do is they're going to kick us out. We could go up to the offices and you, no, upstairs, like Hugo, you know Hugo, right? We can go talk to him. You can go talk. Huh? Hugo, yeah, his office, right? And you tell her that you want to file a complaint for him to handle and then put in everything. And she has to take the report and give it to him.
All the, tree permits and all that,
Everything.
and the protesting and the whole agenda that they're doing. Okay, I can just write it all down or what?
Yeah, she'll
Or
interview
they
you,
take
whatever.
the report.
We'll take the, you want to leave a report from Mr. Yeah, that you don't want to do email, you want it. Yeah, that's what I did. That's how I got balls rolling with him.
You got balls?
Yeah, rolling, and they're rolling.
And they're rolling.
I don't know where bike guy went. Oh, wait, let me tell. Duarte. If you see bike guy, can you tell him we're on the 4th floor with the with the councilman's people? I don't know where he is. He's probably asking cops. He's here somewhere. Oh, he is. Okay. Bye, Duarte. Oh, see, here's the nice one. This is the friendliest cop. He is. Good morning. He's the friendliest one.
You were in,
Yeah, and fire, but I'm going to take her up to the councilman's office and give them a what for. Little. He needs a what for, he's not doing his job. A what for is like, no, it won't be him, it'll be his, some of his people.
Private neighborhood council meeting in
Awesome.
Hollywood. I went there with Scott. And I said, I need to talk to you. He was like, I can't call you the protest.
That's what he said. Did he send you here?
This is the first time I've heard. It really was. It was like a year ago.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of.
Well, tell him you want to follow, that you met with him and you want to follow up.
Yeah, or I'll say, hey, maybe he'll remember me. I talked to him
Yeah.
about Scientology.
Yeah, but make sure you get a report, make sure, because when they take the report, it goes to their
I'll say,
people.
yeah.
So let's
And I'll let them know that I'm putting this in writing reports for everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking for the permits for everything, so they know the regulation.
Yeah, they've had enough. Why don't you go take go down to the 2nd floor? I don't know, but here,
Is it 12?
can you get it? Probably getting close. What time is it, guys?
11:20.
Also, here, just take it, because by the time we're up there, or you can just sit there and wait for us, and
All
then,
right. You guys got a 911 B with me there?
after we go up there, but like, you'd be a distraction.
I need number 2 then.
Yeah, here, we're going up. Oh, yeah, you catch a down one on number 2.
And he has yummy sandwich in his hand.
4.
You'll just go in and I'll
Yeah.
squeeze in. You go that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Number 4?
2.
No,
I do
4.
want-
Yeah, we're fine.
Joanne.
4 first.
I do want to make a speech to the council meeting. Can you log speaker card?
We already,
Am I logged in?
no, they already done that.
Oh, shit. What floor am I at? 4.
We're on 4.
All right, see you guys later.
Okay.
I'm the rest of you. Yes.
I'll meet you down there in a second.
Copy. Don't lose your visitors.
Well, yeah, he wouldn't put it on him before the fireman. He didn't want the firefighter seeing him with a visitor, that he's just a visitor. No, just with one, that he's not one of
No,
them.
but I'm saying he has 2.
He's so hard, he's so funny. All right, we're here to, call it for Hugo's office to see if she can make a report to Sophia.
One more time, ma'am?
Hugo's, can we call into Hugo's office to see if we can see, to make a report with his, reps?
Yeah, you have the right to give them, I have the number.
No, you guys have the check and they always call from here.
Okay, that's fine. So it's you, so Martinez?
Yes.
and that's who you
Yep.
speak to?
Yeah.
I'll dial it and you speak to
talk.
them and,
Yeah, she wants to make a, we want to make a report.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
specifically wanted to physically come and do it.
just let them know you're here on the 4th floor, speak to them, their staff.
Yeah, they can come and take us back like they always did before. Let me get out of the way. Hold on, let me back up.
What kind of, would that be
You want to make a
specific
report?
or
Yeah, you want to
just
make a report. No, you want to make a report.
Is it called
Yeah, because you,
a specific report?
just that you want to make a report to his office for him to,
I just don't know if they're like, oh, this would be something under the city,
well,
but
she,
it's
if she
more
asks,
than that.
no, you want him, you want your council, this is your council, man. You want to report whatever's on your mind, that you have things, issues that you want reported, and you want to do it in person to where you know it's gonna not just end up in some email, like Ben. We have till 2, so we're putting Laura to work. Turning her into a gadfly.
Right
She's a constituent. You're a constituent. It's usually Sophia.
Okay, give it a minute.
Are they gonna come out?
Maybe they'll
I'm assuming, because I don't like going back and forth.
Yeah.
But it is okay, right?
Was it Sophia? Was it?
I'm not, it's not like.
She's very sweet and nice and very like, will listen and write it all down and she, yeah, and then she'll put it directly to all the reps to all the issues that you would like your councilman to know. Yes, and to a wellness check, like why not are they doing a wellness check since we brought them up so many times?
Yeah, and it's also not my own, it's not just my dad, it's my friends, families who also are, who are sweet, like Jason Scolino, Catherine Scolino, their parents.
Can you guys do?
Like there should be a huge thing done where they really go in and do thorough, elderly.
Yes, wellness checks for all the elderly. They would,
Physical,
yes.
mental,
Yes.
everything,
Oh, yes.
financial.
Ask them, see, they might listen to you. It smells good. Yeah, it's nice and spicy. I like that one. Who was it? Hi.
Yeah.
We're with her.
I'm very excited, I actually met with, I didn't realize that I could actually come here and make my own report about just doing things. Should I do it first here?
I can take your message. I'm just
So if I give you, I can.
It's not Sophia, like she writes it down for you.
Yeah,
It's
so I
Sophia.
can
I want
actually
like that
have something
report.
where it's
Sure,
not
yes.
like-
Yeah.
She
we
just-
will have that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
He has to go back there too.
Yeah, and, well, that's, yeah.
Because you don't wanna do
But
that.
that's okay. No, I don't, it's fine.
Oh, we could do it over there.
It's on the right. I would
Yeah,
rather have it on the
to say you
right.
want to own them more good.
That's why I said I wanna have a report that I can.
See, and then you're putting, see, then they can't say they didn't know anything because you're gonna put it in writing, very clear.
Also, it's very clear, it's pretty insane, inhumane that my own father will not come and talk with me.
But he's not, he can, he's
Not
under,
allowed, but that's
tell
what
him.
I wanna say, this is how inhumane.
What demand a wellness check. I mean, I would demand it.
And not just on.
Yeah, on all the seniors. There's hundreds, but according to, right, in the whole surrounding area, there are thousands. Where, what do they do? Yeah, what do we even know?
Have them in this building that's close to the building.
They probably are all in the
And
morgue
that's
downstairs.
like liaison office where they literally are meant to do filing or something until they die.
They're probably in the morgue.
So it's, I want to start, basically, I was born and raised in the school of Scientology and it's been like obviously a whole long process of me to outside world, right? But now that I know this outside world and I'm learning a lot more about the laws and things like that, I'm making like official reports on the abuses, but also the current abuses going on, like my father, I'm not able to go see him because Scientology won't let him see. I saw him physically when I was protesting Scientology last year at the Shrine Auditorium every year, and he was pushing a fish cart, and I was screaming like, "Yeah!" He wouldn't let me. He wouldn't look at me. He wouldn't talk to me. So, Scientology has policies internally that say it doesn't matter. They don't respect children. They don't allow the idea of a child being a child. They're always an adult or a spiritual being in a small body. So it kind of makes this sort of inhumane acceptability of like separating from your family and children. Labor. Now we're here 35 years later and I'm protesting that. And we have protesters that are being, okay, one person right now that I'm very concerned about is Scott Hochstetter, who's been protesting Scientology for over a year and a half now, and is constantly outside. He's a really good protester. Obviously, sometimes annoying or whatever to them, but he knows what he's doing. He's having violent the law. They had Patrick Moxon specifically pushed with the DA or prosecutors when they went in to do this new law about protesting, trying to get everybody to agree, right? And I think the LAPD agreed to it and some other thing that everybody else was unconstitutional. Patrick Moxon has been pushed, he's the lawyer representative for Scientology. For representatives of the Church of Scientology. And so he is the one pushing all the protesters, any protesters, to get illegally, either swatted. He's the one who's bringing them to court, whether it's a fake felony, a fake, just hate crimes, all of intimidation. And no, this is worse than intimidation. This is why I'm physically coming here. So I've been dating this guy, Scott Hochstetter. So they can't go at me because they know if I could do anything to get into the court physically for myself, to get my father, to get my mom out, to get my sister, to get any of the parents that I grew up, their families that they can't even speak about because they don't want to be disconnected from their. So they now have Scott Hochstetter in 6 felony hate crime for taking a Christmas wreath down by accident. I think he like moved it and then a Christmas ball fell and it broke. So they're like hate crime. He moved some signs that that Scientology had held that say LAPD, Los Angeles Department of City like they'll say City of Los Angeles, and their street barricades, and they keep them. And every time they have a random event on L. Ron Hubbard, whether it's permitted or not, we never get to know. We can't see when we go to look up, where's the permit? Where's the permit? They don't show it to us. They have Kendrick Moxon. Then when we have a protester saying, where's the permit, right? Where's your guys' authority to close the sidewalk so that everything is completely violated the moment Scientology has their event. Let me tell you, I as a child born and raised in this, I literally used to set up these events in Clearwater. I was born in this internal organization. So I know the methods that they're doing. I worked shredding as a minor, 14, shredding documents under Kendrick Moxon, who's now still, this is why this is full circle, who was literally a part of fraudulent, basically signing off federal paperwork, later saying, oh, I didn't know it was fraud. Bullshit. I was in the C organization. I knew what we were doing. So I didn't know as a 14-year-old the documents I was shredding, but these were cases that people were murdered or neglected. They just were. Lisa McPherson literally was neglected and was made to rot and wait in a room. Kendrick Moxon knew all about it. He was one of the lawyers, one of the assistant representatives on the case. There were so many bad things that went with that case. So if you look up Operation Snow White, you can even take note of this. It's called Operation Snow White, and this was literally a full-on infiltration that Scientology did to take over and overthrow the government so that they could get their tax exempt status. Just look it up. It's literally not a conspiracy. Kendrick Moxon is a part of all that. Kendrick Moxon was in the Guardian's office before all of that, when they took over from L. Ron Hubbard, when David Mescott. So Kendrick Moxon, this lawyer who is now putting one of my dear friends, somebody that I literally care about and has been doing so much to get my dad out, to stop all the child abuse and the elderly abuse, all of that, to expose to the LAPD, to show people this is what's happening and nothing's being done. The only thing's happening is they're getting their permits, which when they do these events, they are recruiting families that are from other countries that come in. They say, oh, you can come back in on an R1 visa, and then you can be a part of our church. And when you're a part of our church, you have every reason, you have free citizenship here. As part of our religion, in America, you get that status. So then they use that recruitment to child traffic, to bring in other families from other countries, thinking that they're gonna have a dream in America. And then they're eventually recruited into the C organization because they're monitored with cameras everywhere they go. They're told what they can and can't say. They're not allowed to report crimes to the outside authorities. They're not allowed to report reports how they are to the LAPD direct. The East Division in Hollywood is in cahoots with Scientology. When somebody is called from the Blue Building or from East Department, they called the LAPD. There were kids trying to escape, not even 6 months ago, 2 young teenage daughters from one of these big honcho Scientology donators where they closed off the streets and they had all these other, other culture, it was just from other countries that they were promoting, oh, all these countries can be here. And they closed off the whole street, and we asked for permits with Easter. We said, why are they allowed to close up? They don't believe it. They disrespect other religions. They got their status, again, Operation Snow White, they got their status because they infiltrated. The IRS only gave them status because they could not stand the amount of money and bullying that individual lawsuits of every Scientologist, which could have been one of mine. They could have put my name in Social Security. Kendrick Moxon was a part of putting all those. So here he is now attacking with the law. Again, 40 years later, he has literally covered up murders. His own daughter killed herself in this cult. And he just audits it away, nothing happened, and now attacks people trying to expose what really happened.
Is his name spelled?
Kendrick Moxon, Moxon, yep. And this is, and Scott Hofstetter is the one being, is the victim, is the honorable protester who is literally being charged 6 felonies for the dumbest shit. Look up the cases. You're gonna be like, oh, it's a Christmas wreath. They don't believe in Christmas. In fact, he was adjusting a ball wreath, and the wreath was so loose it fell down.
They're saying it's a hate crime.
And it's a hate crime. For what? You don't even believe in it's really just, he's a big lawyer. He's one of the lawyers, I wouldn't say he only does Scientology, and he is made to harass people like Scott Hofstetter with the 6 felonies, which these felonies have already been a year ago brought to court. He was in jail for 6 days, went to the DA's office, they rejected it. So what happens? He just keeps getting arrested, goes to jail for 6 days because he was over the weekend. They do this though. They did it on Easter. They do it when they can get people. So this I'm just upset about right now because it's active. My father, I want to get a wellness check. I want a physical wellness check on my father, Philip Roy Anderson. I want a physical, mental, financial, and health. On all of those. Sleep deprivation. How much does he work?
Is he in the RPF? They have a prison system.
They have a prison. They have their own prison camps. They do not report any of this to the outside. They handle internally. In fact, if it even gets to the outside, it's the person's fault who reported it. They get in trouble. So if I get raped and I go to report it, which happened, look at Danny Masterson. He raped fucking multiple Scientologists that were involved and some not, and he only got convicted for 2 of them, right? So Scientology knew all about Danny Masterson. So we're not allowing this anymore. I'm not allowing protesters to let the city be the laws, you guys, it's an embarrassment. And not only that, that's more than an embarrassment. It's showing that Scientology is able as a gang to be able to come in and infiltrate the city and even down to protesters there on a daily basis because they won't need them to get them to stop exposing their crimes. All the way down to child trafficking, child abuse, the forced labors, everything we did, signing billion-year contracts. I literally, as a child, signed a billion-year contract, worked 13 to 14-hour days. I wasn't allowed to go to sleep unless certain targets were made and met. All of the whole childhood was in the internal C organization. So it's not just me. This is happening in Los Angeles. I was literally born on Wilcox and Selma in 1986. This is Hollywood's problem. This is Los Angeles' problem. And so if we can work on getting the elderly of children that are yelling and screaming about their parents being in this and that they don't have their own mind thought, my father, if he did, would have stopped and held my hand and said, come and talk to me. He can't. He literally had to avoid me. That was heart-wrenching. And the LAPD lied to me because they are being paid privately because they get hired for these events. Every time they have a private event, they lied to me and said they have a permit, the sidewalk's closed. That was false. Okay, whether the police were lied to by a fake permit that Kendrick Moxon and Jennifer and Kirsten Peterson, who's always in cahoots with LAPD Direct, making sure. That's how they lied. I could have walked with my dad. Why not? I could have fixed our relationship by being able to walk with him and say, this isn't okay, Dad. So it's not okay. I want a wellness check on him. I want him to know. I want people to see that he really feels he's not allowed to talk to me. And that is mentally not okay.
I just.
How you feel? So
he disappeared. No one knows where he is.
Now I don't know where he is.
They removed him because of the protesting, that she can't even at least have over getting a glimpse of him, but it looks like they moved him. And this Kendrick Moxon, he's a lawyer in Burbank.
Kendrick Moxon is doing this, and he needs to be. He's already had a lot of violations against his. Like a lot of people have reported in the bar. He's been. He's under investigation, but he also has had multiple judges really say, like, you've been leading witnesses. There was a case that he did that we lost. I mean, that we won, that he lost, that he was representing and saying that, whatever, hate crime, harassment, whatever. And the judge at the end wrote a 7-page thing of how Moxon was clearly steering the witness. The witness doesn't even know how to, like, anyway, so it's very exhausting. We spent the time to come here to do this. It's so much bigger than what I'm even telling you. And I don't know how you're gonna try to transcribe this over to Hugo and whatever, but I would actually, it's not just about this. These are these are big issues to me, but these are little issues to the city, of course, but they're very important. It's allowing the whole situation to happen. When they close down L. Ron Hubbard Way without permits and approval and then tell people in the neighborhood, I live in the neighborhood. I moved there for a reason. I want to see my back. I want to expose what the fuck I was doing at 8 years old. It isn't okay. So why can't I do that? Why can't I put a beautiful art show for the whole neighborhood on that street? Because it's owned by L. Ron Hubbard. So L. Ron Hubbard Way, like that's all gang tactics. They're doing everything to infiltrate and take over so that people like Scott Hochstetter, people like everybody who goes to protest in any form feel feared that they're gonna possibly get thrown fucking random felony charges on their ass because of Scientology. That's all there is to it.
Public street, it's not private, and
We're not there even attacking Scientology. I don't like it, maybe I'm attacking it, okay? But a lot of the people are there are saying, let the parents stop abusing the elderly, let them have proper medical health care because they are against psychiatry. They think psychiatry is their enemy, so they don't let people go and get, that's why I say get a mental wellness check on him. Phil Roy Anderson.
And did they
Philip
go into
Roy
ADA
Anderson.
violations too, because they believe we're a degraded being?
Yeah, yeah. And they're above the law. That's why they're above, that's their idea. They're yeah, like, like you.
Just to clarify,
Yeah.
so your father, you think he's at the
Blue Building, he was last there 7-8 months ago, working at the cafe. And because I think that he saw me and I was protesting, that was really bad. I think they didn't know that and that was an accident on there. Like they're normally monitoring people really well. So that was a big issue. And so, for me to have seen him and that whole thing to have happened and for me to not have been able to talk to him because of the LAPD covering up the fucking permits and being really hard with the people that are there saying, give us the permit. If they are allowed to do this, then fine. But if they're not, then why are you allowing them to do it? You can't close off sidewalks. Yeah, every time they've either had false permits, the sidewalks are closed or one side's closed off. No, it's a public street. And then they're getting multiple permits. They get 6-7 permits every 3 months. How is that possible? Not even any quote religion does that to any street right outside their church.
And not to cut in real quick, but on that, because, I forget her name, is the K, whatever. Because what happened is that, BSS, Street Services, said that they keep giving them the permits because they're not getting any pushback or feedback from Hugo's office. So if, you know.
But they're not out there. They're not going, they don't see, they just see what the PR version of Scientology is saying. Oh, thank you, Hugo. Here's a basket from the Church of Scientology or whatever the fuck he's getting where they feel that it's like not a big issue. That is what they do. They safe point people. They make them feel like it's not too bad. Oh, remember me? I'm Jennifer. You know, remember me? I'm Kirsten Catano. I'm so amazing and happy. Look at us. We're church officials. You're fucking criminal, evil, lying. They lie to themselves. They have to. It's part of Scientology. But anyways, I didn't want to get like totally emotional. I just wanted to put it on the plate, on the sort of, you can remind Hugo, he might have remembered me about a year ago. I went to the Hollywood neighborhood meeting and I met him at the end and I just was like really like, it was like we'd just been being attacked so much with the protesting and all that it was hard for me to say everything. But I did meet him and I told it, and he had told me like, oh, this is the first time I've heard about the protesters or that Scientology. Why is Scientology not allowing, if there's like if there's needed room for homeless people and all this, why don't they let them use their empty parking lots? Why don't you put street meters on L. Ron Hubbard Way. Why is L. Ron Hubbard Way, and all the other streets around have meters, but L. Ron Hubbard Way does
They're
not?
trying to say it's privatized, and it's not.
No, it's not.
That is Bay Shore.
They just be, yeah, this is literally, like I said, the tactics that they use to pretend that they actually own that area, and they don't. That is gang. That's a gang mentality.
The city
that
can't
they
prove
think
that
they.
it's no parking either.
It's not, there's not.
The city has not been able to prove it. They really need to get to the bottom of it.
So yeah, that's just the main thing, the permits and all that, but I do want I want a wellness check, not only on my father for sure, but a psychologist, because they don't believe in that, so they won't allow a psychologist to come there.
They had people with the help, they wrote help on the window, and the police were called, and they were told the police, oh, it's nothing, don't worry about it, and the cops turned around and left. And it was
They
clearly
listened
help.
to, they literally told, even at the fire meeting, when one of the protesters went and asked the chief fire police officer, why is it okay that they have the barricades up? Like you need to be able to, there's no fire lane. And one of the responses, because he was sick of this protester coming to keep saying, how are you letting them get away with this? Open up the road. And he said, it's okay, I have a direct number to the security guard. That was the response of the chief of one of the fire representatives of 35, the fire station. That's what they said. Eventually, it's fine, I have a direct number to the security.
And they can like move cars or barricades.
That is how cults and gangs get away with this stuff. I have the number to the boss, it's fine. What fucking boss? You don't own this.
Can I get your?
Yes.
I have your.
I think you can have. And taxes and everything, but I don't think that's more of a federal thing. But I'm just saying, they're using up they use up the fire, they use up all things, they falsely swap people that are protesting, saying they have firearms and all this shit at gunpoint, literally. Like, they've had 7 SWAT calls on Scott Hutchsetter at gunpoint. Helicopters flying around, and he's on the ground, like, because they lie and say this shit about him. But Scientology doesn't get, why don't they do who did that call? Who made those calls? Why are they not investigating that? Because they're afraid to dig into anything that Scientology might do, because they will get attacked.
Well, even Kenneth Knoxon was accused of possibly killing a judge's dog. So
there's a lot that you can read. There's a book called The Expert Witness by Jesse Prince. He was a high-ranking member right next to David Miscavige. And he talks about all that. If you look up Operation Snow White on YouTube, just type in Operation Snow White Scientology, you're gonna go down, you're gonna see exactly how they infiltrated. Yeah.
The biggest, right here, give your info.
Yeah.
Carla, that's it. Would somebody at least at Carla or Emma's level, like contact her directly?
Especially for my dad.
Should that be Carla and Emma? Because it's the blue building and not NIE's, because that's central, but it's East Hollywood. That would be Carla, right? Or Emma. And they are good. I mean, they've been they know. See, I've been like, he doesn't know now, but I've been a year
My,
now.
my trigger instinct just went in when we were like, oh, notify, like, be aware that fair gaming is everybody where they need them. So if there could be somebody in your office that is specifically being quiet but allowing certain permits to go through, that needs to be investigated. It needs to be looked like who is allowing this, who, you know, yeah, I think I've said a lot, but like, I think the permits, my father.
The other
I
seniors.
need to fucking see my father. It's unbelievable that I'm 39 years old and the last conversation I had with him was 7 years ago. Because I chose to not deal or do the thing that they.
Well, plus they don't, no one's seen, even when we ask, like, have you seen him? Everyone has said, no, like, quietly,
Or they
no.
know,
But-
the internal member, like, oh yeah, they all know who Phil Anderson is.
But they haven't seen them.
They're like,
That's
"Oh,
the
yeah, he
point.
used to work at the cafe."
Used to.
And this is just random nice protesters that are happening, you know, they call it they audit, they're literally doing audits. So they're just saying, hey, you know, we're just trying to see if you've seen Phil Anderson, and some of them are like, oh yeah, I haven't seen him, but if I see him, I'll let him know.
But that's what I mean, like, so he
These are
seems missing.
full-timers that- He's not the only one getting abused, there are so many people, there needs somebody needs to be literally on a small 48-hour, 72-hour mission from the office, from your office, that just goes and monitors this and just sees, I want to speak to this person right now. I have every right as a psychologist, whoever it is, to go in as a color duty.
Senior, the senior.
Uniform, get the ones that are in uniform, and you'll see you can't even have a normal conversation with them without them getting stared into it. Literally, even if you're just asking.
And there's hundreds of seniors in there in that building that, I have other people asking me, you try to get help, because they said they have no windows, they have no.
I've had nurses that I've worked with, I'm a personal assistant, they said, oh my God, they know about my story, and they said, Laura, I might have got a call, I went to the blue building, and they said, I can't really say anything because I had, and then I said, but how, she said, it was, they literally are like, I just felt like I couldn't even connect with the patient. And I was like, what patient? They're like, oh, their son looked like really old, and I was like, how, they have things, and they just get these nurses to do the things they can get on the side, but still keep them confined away from the public.
Not in a hospital.
Not in a hospital, where they could literally live longer. Anyways, it's too much.
They need help.
It's a huge issue.
So we need
and nothing has been
your
done
boss
about
to
it.
really get
Kids
it.
like me have not grown up out of it to learn that it is so fucked up. What is going on?
I have an update on Bill
And then you're gonna
Dovek.
get away with these permits. It's like, no, you're not doing this anymore. You're not closing down our streets. We're taking our neighborhood back. Thank you. I live here. I was born in this fucking city. You can now take your cult and get out. They literally are so manipulated. They're money draining. They drain the city's attention, money, time, calling out fake things, having them, and then giving them fake awards and checks on the side. This is all safe for you. Look at how much money gets donated to Scientology, from Scientology to the LAPD.
Well, I have an email where, I guess they paid their fine for all the fines for these fake, the A non-compliant planters. And as soon as he thanked them for like, okay, we paid, now they dropped the case, because, oh, by the way, our church donated $100,000 to the firefighter, fund. And we gathered 75,000 more. That was Kendrick Moxon.
Yeah, no problem about the money. Let's keep the big ass planters that had no authority of being on the public sidewalk there for months. They had them there for months just to stop the protest.
But did that 175,000 donation have anything to do with the case being dropped?
Yeah, oh gee, I wonder. So, this is what I mean about giving little tips, doing something so another thing won't happen.
They've given over 400,000 to LAPD within a certain.
It's almost like, well, Scientology gives the city $500,000, $1 million a year. Why not just let them have their free permits and closures whenever they want? They're gonna pay us 20 grand each time
See,
they have
the
them.
protesters are starting to know their rights. Like, they prevented me from going through. I have every right now to go get a constitutional lawyer and sue the city. So
And this
you
has
are.
happened so many times.
Huh,
And the
it's like-
police come, they finally, last time on Easter,
Finally
they
honored my
finally
rights.
said, actually, she has a right, open up.
But the fact
The
that.
moment they
Right.
left, another protester gets told, no, you can't be here, and then she goes, they close it off.
But the thing is, the city, because I'm not trying to get, but if people are going to start suing the city
Yeah.
because they know the rights and they know nothing's being done, and there's a pattern.
This is insane. He's literally been locked
And
up.
so that's why we're trying to get to Hugo. He doesn't want to hear me.
These charges were already dropped a year ago. Now they're just being pulled up by Kendrick.
For using a
Saying
megaphone.
the state is pushing it. No, Kendrick, I saw you talking to the freaking assistant DA in the hallway.
Well,
I see, I know what
too.
you're doing. I'm at the cases.
Plus there's
He hates me. He hates that I'm there. He knows that I know about his daughter. He called me sir in the fucking Sea Org. He called me sir, yes, sir, when I
As
was
a child.
15 years old.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was above him in rank. So he's being a little, like, it's just so insane that I'm like, you're not getting through this. You are not. Because I happen, whatever reason, the world, the universe puts me in a situation that I get raised in, there's a reason that I have the muscle to do this. I'm a singer, I'm a performer. So it's like I have to be able to be loud and speak about this. And I cannot believe it's taken me this long to do it. I just didn't have the tools or the people to go. So I hope the in-person makes sense. I'm not even trying to be like dramatic, but I needed to do this in person. And there's way more to it, and I can break it down. Somebody can say, well, what do they do here? Who does this? Who do they get approved here? Oh, they have to get some city approval. So they can see where they're getting it. Who is the one approving it? Because there's always signatures. There has to be. There has to be.
We just really want your boss to really, he knows, and for a year I've been coming now. And I know he probably gets sick and tired of it, but we just need him not to be afraid of Scientology.
We'll help you do
Yeah,
something
we
about it.
will.
We'll help you. There's a lot of people that will help, that will make East Hollywood, that neighborhood, beautiful. We would love that. Scientology does shit. They literally have nice green grass that the dogs in the neighborhood can walk and shit on. That's probably the only thing they do for the city. That's it. And even then, it's like you're trespassing if you're a
Well, they
protester.
follow
when
you.
you're
No,
not.
they follow everybody.
Yeah. What do
You know that.
And I believe that they lie about their property line. I don't believe that they own all the way up to the sidewalk. I think they own up to their building line and that's it. But maybe the city can review that too.
Sure, yes, like I said, I.
Okay, it's a lot. Sorry, may I give you a hug? I did not mean to be so overwhelming.
It's finally getting out. 30, it's how many years?
They've got a strong heart. Yeah, so you get it. Okay, and they can call me, email me, and I would be honored to have a meeting and a conversation with whoever I need, so they can really investigate why all this is happening.
Yeah.
And then my dad.
Of course, yes.
That is very important.
Essentially, I think,
Yes. Start.
And thank you, and just the whole, they have the permits and the R1Bs and allowing families, like all of this, it's more than just this. This is
So they're gonna
just what I'm
start,
starting
they have to start like, work your way up. Thank you for listening and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
You could
Lisa.
like put, because they know Audit LA, they know my contact, it's like if they need, yeah, you could just put Audit LA, that she bought her and, you know, she came with Audit LA.
For streaming.
And that's for sure, yeah, for her, yeah, for the, we're doing the record, but they know me, Carla knows me, Emma knows me. So if they need like more where they can connect, thank you for taking the time. That was did awesome. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, right? We're all proud of her. That was like, is that freedom? There you go. So I think Laura is self-qualified for a whistleblower. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you need to get those, that protection. Whistleblower, like you should see what.
Oh, is there?
You might.
Is there?
You should get a lawyer and ask about whistleblower about victims compensation. Yeah, there is. Yeah, we're going down. Thank you. I need to go find Bike Guy in a second. Yeah, you did a great job. And so, you know, like the more you get it out, the more. Because I know you had to get everything out in 1 minute. Yeah, but you know, but it's okay. You know, she yeah, no, two. She knew, like I see, even though she probably like, well, like, but she picked, she knew exactly.
No, and
let's start with this, and so she knew it, she heard it.
She wants to see
Doesn't
her
she
dad.
heard it?
Why can't you let her fucking see her?
Yeah. Well,
Why
and
is the
that he's well.
psychologist literally going?
It's just two. Oh no, we're going. I'm going to go.
Going down.
Yeah, we're going down to 2. Watch your feet. Yeah, I gotta go find Bike Guy.
Yeah. Can you imagine if I can have a conversation with my father for real?
Yes.
If they said, "Here's your father," he said, "Okay, 5 minutes."
Right. And
I would be like,
now we
are
have to go
you
up to
kidding?
second. Now we have to go. Wait, this is 2. Oh yeah, this is okay. And then
I would literally like,
yeah, you could even at the minimum start with a website.
listen to your daughter. I literally would be like that. Listen to me. Listen to me. I understand why you don't want to feel free to think how you want to think. But this is insane. Like, I literally would be like, you're coming with me. You're coming with me. You're gonna stay in my fucking apartment, or you're gonna stay.
Isn't that what's his name did to his mom? I mean, Mike, know what he did to his mom? He went there and basically.
Mike Brown?
Yeah,
Well,
didn't
they did, he got
he
a
went
bunch
in
of
there
his
and-
friends that knew what to do.
And dragged her out, right? Basically got her out of there.
Basically said, fucking let her go.
Well, let's get your dad
And
out.
then Rosemary slowly started, he just had her watching those episodes and going clear and things, and. she
But why don't
said
we,
a few of those
why don't
that
we
she
figure out
was
what he
trying to
did and do it for your
That's what I'm
dad?
gonna do. That's what I'm saying. He
Get him
needs to
out of
come
there.
with me. He would need to come with me.
No, I mean, before then, just, we need to
No,
get people to
because if he
go in
comes
and
with me,
demand
then
it.
he can sit, he can eat a nice meal, I can let it, and he can start watching.
Where'd the white guy
He can
go?
literally start getting programs. Okay, where are we going?
I was coming here to find Bike Guy, but he's not here. We lost Bike Guy. I might get something to drink. I'm gonna have to mute though, because the songs, they give me, I might get something, like, the hand, wait, there's no music going on, right?
They have a bunch of.
No, I think I'm just gonna buy the iced tea.
Okay, you wanna get one?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Ash, you want anything? You only want water? You want anything else? You want a green juice?
They have green juice.
Don't lie to me. You don't want a green juice? It's pineapple, cucumber, lime, and sugar. No sugar.
Now, do you know much about the Lydio, the dentist that assaulted, the dentist that assaulted, Aja, what happened with that case? Yes.
No.
Well, I am.
Oh, you are. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm getting your IT.
Okay, well, at least you sold it.
I'm getting whatever
You
you
know,
want. So just tell.
All right, I just want, an iced tea with 10 brown sugars, 10 raw sugars in it.
I'm gonna get this tea. You're gonna get an iced tea.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna get one of these yummy little cakes. The banana bread.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, this, I'll get this middle one. Yeah.
I'll give you the cash. Are they, okay, well, who was his lawyer, guys? Who was his lawyer? Who was Lydia's lawyer? Lydia, do you remember the Lydio dude? The dentist that assaulted Aja? Do we know anything about the court or who his lawyer was or anything? Huh? I know who his lawyer was. Oh, yeah, I know. It's gonna be the next. That's gonna be the next. I'll put that out. I'll try to put that one out today. I know who his lawyer was. Yep, it was. It was Moxon.
No.
Yeah. Yep. And
Find the docket for that.
I have it.
Oh, you do?
Oh yeah, I got the proof. I also have they fired Delvac at least for some things. I don't know about for everything, but it looks like Delvac is no longer their attorney. So guys, huh?
Don't
Okay.
still have to wait. You
Huh?
have to wait for your iced tea, right?
Oh yeah, they're probably, is it up there? I just didn't want to be in the way. Yeah, it was Moxon, and they. No, I'm just waiting for. Laura, it's probably gonna be right there, like when they're done with, when it's. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but, yep, he was and then now Bill Delbeck, I think he's been fired partially, because, I have proof that with the city attorney that, Moxon is the lawyer of record now for all this stuff. So I don't know if, so, huh? Yeah, they have a free coffee. Do they have like creams? How do they get that?
That's one of them, Will.
I just need like 10 sugars.
Oh, in this?
No, in this.
Oh.
It's good,
You
yeah.
want me to grab 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, it's like my one vice. We're gonna be over here.
Ya, no nunca el baño. Tener baño aquí.
Yeah, that was really good. That was healing for her, I think, right? I think that was very healing for her. She's gonna, yeah, things are, so that's what I've been needing. That's been my prayer. This has like been my prayer that victims would start feeling, you know, where they can come and talk. And a stirrer. Wait. Let's go over to the table. You get a stirrer?
I took
Thank
a
you.
sip of your tea
So
and there was all the sugar on the bottom and all the sugar went in my mouth.
Oh, lucky you.
So here you go, you like it.
And this is over here. Thank you. I'll go and put over here. Let's go over here. She's just getting a stirrer. I need a stirrer. Okay. So Delvac is no longer the lawyer of record with a lot of stuff. I have a feel, and I had a feeling thank you, Master. I don't think that they are doing I don't have proof of it yet. I'm still waiting. So they had a switch in lawyers from Delvac back to Moxon. I have the proof of that. I have proof of that he represented Lucidio, the guy that assaulted. So why is he the lawyer for people assaulting protesters?
Because it has to do with Scientology. He does anything
That's what I'm saying.
outside.
So was he, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying.
That's what we just need to show.
But Campos, he wasn't his.
You literally want to
Yeah.
show somebody in jail, an individual in jail for hate crimes, when you literally are.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be posting little by little.
Like the fact that he's done
That's what I
this
gotta
and
do.
that the DA's dropped it multiple times on protesters.
Yeah.
I think Henry is the only one who actually, they won.
Yeah.
Because he pleaded to a deal.
No, but
And
yeah,
doesn't
well,
want to be honest about that.
No, it's confusing for, it did take it completely out. It got dropped from.
And I'm not gonna bring it up on your live stream, but he made it seem like to everybody, he won, and there's a reason he didn't give all the information.
Okay, well, he did,
pled.
from what but it's he got an infraction. Yeah, he pled for infraction.
Why?
Because otherwise you'd be.
No.
We'll talk later.
We'll talk later.
All right, we'll have that.
We'll have
Campos
that
may be the only
conversation.
one who didn't have Moxon, but I have letters of him talking about Campos. And so how do we know? It could be still, may not be Moxon. Yeah, I might not need all. It may not have been Moxon that is the actual lawyer for Campos, but it could be one of his lawyers, right? I mean.
Totally, no, they could
Because
have a
he
whole law
kept asking about Scott's case and then ratting me out, saying like, I'm demanding, you know.
Yeah, because he's trying, if he can get Scott's case pushed through, then he can stop all the protesters. That's literally what he's trying to do.
Yeah, but he's trying to now go after me with the city attorney, so that's
Well,
fine.
you're considered one of the agitators. Audit's an agitator.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Audit.
Good, guys. I had to take the microphone out because my phone's going to go dead.
I was gonna say that, though. I was gonna say, that Scientology has all the evidence
in terms of cameras for things that they need. But
Yeah.
when it comes to protesters needing evidence that's on or around their properties, all of a sudden, no, we don't.
Nope, they don't have that.
You have zillions of cameras around your property specifically to
They're
get
like, you're such a
every-
dainty stirrer.
Me, I am. I
She
just
is a
don't
dainty
want it
stirrer.
to get spilted. I hate when things
You don't like it when it's spilted. We don't want it to be spilted.
I know spilted.
We don't spilt it around
We
here.
don't spoil
There's
it,
no
and we don't
spiltedness.
spilt it in it.
Okay, I have all my
Okay,
stuff.
take a sipper and see if
How do you
it's
like?
good. Go.
This is my fake mini Kelly because I love mini
I know, I was
Kellys.
like, oh
It's
my
my
God,
fake
don't put it-
one.
And I was like, oh, it's probably, I'll still value
It's a
it as
fakie.
such.
Yeah, it's not the $3,000 ones. I just love it because
Don't
it's just
spill it. Good?
perfect.
Oh, perfect, good. She saved two.
Okay, now let me.
Okay, well.
Well, I wonder who's gonna. Let me see if Hugo's gonna be at the 2 o'clock meeting. So I don't know how late you want to stay. There's gonna be.
I gotta head out soon.
Do you? Alrighty.
Yeah, 12, yeah.
Well,
That was good, I'm so glad.
you got a
we
lot
did that.
done. You got a lot done.
Yeah, that was.
You got to keep coming and do
I
more.
wonder if she's gonna do something, like, that's so.
Well,
cool.
she will connect you with. I mean, they are good like that. I had to give them that credit. They are like I give credit where credit's due. They will get in contact. They will get in contact with you. But whether or not, see, if it depends. Emma, I feel like Emma is the most. I don't know, like.
Understanding or whatever.
Yeah, and I know. I feel like Carla said she's trying to see what she can do. Like I think they're in a predicament, whatever, because his office has been safe pointed for so long, you know.
Yeah.
And the people before him, so it's I don't know. We
That's
just
what
have to
I
keep
mean.
pushing.
They can't just like fire somebody. They can't just do that. They can't just start.
No.
But they can take.
But they can do a
notice.
wellness check.
They can do, exactly. They can do the things that legally are demanded.
And thank you for pushing for that because that's what I've been
That's the
asking
most
for.
important thing.
But I'm not the victim's family, or you know, what I mean, I'm not.
And what if they, so they're gonna have to report, right? What if they report back, her dad is not in the country anymore?
Yeah, see.
So that would be another exact evidence of exactly what they do when they do see
Yes.
me and him.
Right,
together,
that they
when see
right, and you have more
protest.
proof.
Yeah.
And Moxon, they would be dumb enough to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Because
saying.
he's as dumb as can be, and we're going to keep Moxon. I know
It's
if you're
also
as dumb as can be.
I mean, dumb, but really they're programmed. They're groomed to act and be a certain way, whether you're
But
a lawyer or not.
You don't think he sounds stupid to the city attorney?
Oh,
I
he
can send you. I
absolutely
can send you video of her like looking suspicious going down the
Going
street.
down the street,
Well,
so
going down. I'm like going down
But
a
do it.
public street.
I feel like
I wish you would.
Then she can see how ridiculous.
Stupid.
And not only that, but how tedious and like.
Yeah, yeah,
for
that
what?
they know
What
that
are you
that right.
protecting, Mox?
Yeah, like oh, she went down our street. It's not your street.
The protesters alone. How about
It's
that?
a
How
public
about
street.
stop
Well, he
harassing
was
the
talking about the
protesters?
day that I met with that guy who did the report. See, because that report was done February 27th, and he said, well, she didn't send it to you till March 6th. We
Yeah,
removed
yeah,
them on the 2nd or the 3rd. Okay, no, but it was after the 27th. The 2nd and 3rd is after the 27th. So, but he's like, and I could show you that, like that day, she was like sneaking down. Okay, so, or whatever he says, just
You're like, I'm gonna go
surreptitiously.
down, yeah. I'm gonna go down anytime I want.
Do I look like I could sneak around? Like, guys, do I look like I can sneak by their security? Yeah, I'm gonna dart between their cameras.
You
Like,
should see on it LA's new scooter.
yeah, it's like,
She could be a ninja.
well, I know. Yeah, see, now I can fly
You got
above.
the hybrid
I can go invisible.
Hybrid silent roller.
Yeah.
Sleep mode or
And
stealth.
I'm so stealthily going down. Heck yeah, and I don't go down. I go down very loudly. Like I'm not.
Hello.
But even once I prove, I guess that day maybe I wasn't being so loud because I didn't want to create any problems. And he told them who that dude was too. Like so he's allowed to go down there and do a report. You were allowed to check your ADA.
I'm allowed to walk down Hollywood Boulevard all I want, any time of the day, anytime I want.
And you're allowed to hire
I'm
a
allowed
report
go
to do that
Broadway
too.
Anytime I want.
Mhm.
Even if people think it's stupid or boring, why? Good. Doesn't
No, but-
mean that I'm not allowed to do it.
But that's what they want me to say.
literally- Yeah.
Like
they
I'm not allowed to
literally-
bring this guy.
But they literally, yeah, and they're like, what is Audit doing? Look at her being sneaky.
Yeah.
What do you mean sneaky? There's no sneaky in public.
No, I'm right there with. Went and met the dude. If I was sneaky, I wouldn't have met him. I was going around with him. Yeah, did you know this? Did you know? He's like, oh, I already done. I already did everything because I got it. And he gave a 70 item report. He
Yeah,
was
I'm
great.
really happy.
And more things are going to come.
Give it up to Ash.
Ashley, sorry. I know, she's the backbone of the.
Turn that camera over.
She's the backbone.
We're gonna head out. Where is
She's the backbone.
We can't leave you here without your handler.
No, it'll be all right. He'll find me. I'll sit down here for a minute.
So where's Mike going? Without your
Oh, he'll probably upstairs. He's probably asking cops about their uniforms. I'll get him.
Just like comparing badges and all.
Yeah. Asking them why if they boil their badges and.
It's a lot heavier, ain't it?
Yeah, because he doesn't put. Yeah, well, they boil it to make it shiny, and he hates that because then you don't see all the details of the windows of City Hall. So he always asks if they boil them, and yeah, he's like, that's all he cares about. Yeah, he'll take me to make sure I do my thing, but he's gonna do his thing. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
But,
Okay, I love you.
yeah, I love you too.
Good job. You're really fine here?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I
he's
come here
gonna
all by
come
myself.
find you.
I come here all by myself anyway.
Oh,
usually.
okay.
He came because of that. I love you. I'm proud of you.
I love you.
Right?
That was really good. Much easier.
Do you feel
this
better
time.
now? Do you feel better getting it all out? Like a
Yeah,
lot?
but it's
Like,
still this like.
Okay.
It's still, but it's sizzled a little.
But it's gonna-
It's still like in my head. I can feel it.
Okay.
That's how it feels. But it's like not as. It's not obviously where I'm shaking.
yeah.
so-
No. That,
so
last
it's
time you were in
calmed down.
tears and really. Well, I mean, and
No,
so could
and
have
this
cried.
one it was still. It still had the. But I couldn't like somehow control it a little more.
It's gonna get better and better
Because
and better
I
and better.
told them I was like, hey, you're a part of this PTSD. If this is an issue, this is your issue.
Yeah. You're not
This came
preventing
from
it.
you.
You're not right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you keep doing it. Keep speaking. Keep coming. We need you. Because even Rasha did acknowledge that
Yeah.
she wasn't. She gave me that look like, yeah, I wasn't cool that day.
Yeah.
Not you, not me, her.
Yeah.
So keep it.
Yeah.
Keep coming.
And she said you were like, yeah, it was good that you were like, not everybody knows the rules of how you
Yeah.
guys run things.
Right, like you
So
could have
just-
explained it. You could have stopped and say, I
can't
can't,
answer,
I
but-
can't answer. Right,
But
and
thank you for
coming, right, and
Yeah.
have some
something.
compassion.
So stupid.
Something.
It's literally like, can you please stop being a robot? And then
Right,
they're like,
right.
next.
Right, because they're sick
You're
of all
being a
those
robot.
gadflies, whatever. But she's not a
Yeah.
gadfly. She's a victim.
No,
Because she did acknowledge me that whole time. She
Yeah.
did shake her head
I
like,
feel like there's a lot of people up there that were listening.
yeah,
to it.
they do. They listen to me. They listen to you. Like they don't listen to them because they tune out because they're anti-cop. But that's why I try not to be like I want to hold them accountable. But at the same time, you can't hate all of them.
Yeah.
It's like it's got to have some balance.
Yeah.
But I met the chief right here before he became chief, and I told him I'm going to be. He said, "Oh, I'm going to be your chief." I'm like, "Really?" And I said, "Oh, I'm going to be bending your ear because well, I'm a good listener." So I always
Okay.
feel really good that he's. I don't know. I felt like it was like God is like something's going to happen with this
Yeah.
one because it was a random meeting.
Or something. What do they say?
I don't know. It's
It's
supposed to
an
be.
arc. It's the arc of justice, not.
Yeah, it's not
Everything
instant.
slowly goes.
Right, and builds.
Hopefully,
Like the-
Well, that's I guess what they say about justice.
I'm in the middle playing Russian roulette.
Well, thank you for taking her and bringing her.
Will help,
Oh, it's going to.
Case get thrown
Well-
out. Some sort of something. With
Yeah.
Kendrick Moxon, all that, him talking to the assistant, prosecutor in the hallway.
Well, I'm
I
going
like
through,
using
yes,
that out-of-court
yes.
communication.
And it's a shame you can't film it, but you can ask for the film, like at CPRA of that date and time and that, so you want to see proof of, like we could see, CPRA, the
For that
DA,
meeting?
what he talked to him in the hallway, like what was he, they might not get anything, but it puts them on notice that you're looking into it.
But is that federal if it's in the hallway of a court?
No, you just go to the DA, just say, I witnessed you speaking, if you know his name.
Yeah.
You email him. That's what I did with
Okay,
Captain
I'll give it to
Hom.
them when I get back.
I emailed the captain. I said, I heard that Kirsten in a CPRA, I found out that Kirsten Peterson had a meeting with you. And he said, yeah, she did. I said, well, what did she talk? And I asked him, what did she talk about? He goes, just like the regular security stuff. He goes, I don't remember. He goes, it was like a year ago. I don't really remember what it was about, but it seems pretty typical for their concerns. But I think now he knows a lot more. He didn't know it back then.
And there's a reason that they're coming to them talking about this all of a sudden.
Right. And this was at the beginning of like
This
when
is-
it, right. So I don't know if he was lying to me or what, but so that's what you do. Just, and even if he doesn't tell you, he knows you know and knows you're watching.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna be doing you're not gonna do it, I'm gonna find somebody. who's
So
gonna-
find out who he is and email him.
Okay.
Loves.
Yeah, I can email
Yeah.
direct first.
Yeah, just direct him and say, I'd like to know what he said. And if he says client privilege, you say, well,
He's not the client.
right, he's not
or
the client or the
lawyer.
attorney. So to say there's no privilege, call him on it. All right, love you. Oh, yeah, love ya. Thank you. Huh?
Where are the meetings you're going to today?
I forget, energy, I think, and something. There's two more. It's gonna hang. Huh? Not today. We missed it. That was last week. Bye, guys. Sorry, guys. I'm like, I've been, didn't mean to ignore chat. But that was pretty amazing today. I'm so glad she came. I don't know, someone made a comment about going, like, I don't care how she says it, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that she's saying it. It takes so much bravery and courage to come and just come to a government building and talk to government people about what happened. And yeah, it's how many years worth of build up. It may not come out pretty at first. I mean, I don't sound pretty at the time. Sometimes I sound, I'm always like, It's hard, but it's harder when you've had a story to tell for so long. So she did great, in my opinion. And that cop had to sit there and hear it. So maybe it's good. At first I wanted her inside the office, but no, everybody that was walking by got to hear it too. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try to find the shirt guy. Hi, I'm on the second floor.
You're on 4?
Second, number 2.
Okay, we're on floor number 2, right?
No, I'm on the second floor. Second.
Okay, you're out. I'm not accepting.
All right, bye. Okay, I saw the comment about, I'll talk to Laura later and give her the info. Perfect, Rami, Mona. Whoops, sorry, I'm like bouncing you around.
Okay.
Whoa. Sorry, guys. Trying to pause. Let me put this down for a second. Okay. Does anyone know what time it is? Hi. Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yep. I am gonna have to go to the ladies' room. Sometimes you see interesting people down here. Gotta wait for a bike guy. So that was good. Yeah, Kendrick Moxley, man, so I just got a bunch of, but they don't send them like where I have to go through each one, so. And thank you all for being here. I'm sorry I didn't want to miss the public comment but I'm glad I did. I'm glad I stayed because that was really great. We got to find out about Los Felix. We got to find out a lot of stuff, so I'm glad we stayed. Oh, hey, shirt guy. Sorry, I didn't mean to hush you. What were you there? Because we're like filming. What did you want to say? What were you trying to tell me?
No, I'm not.
Shirt guy.
I'm not trying to tell you. I'm trying to ask you
that
there's a huge line up downstairs. So I'm afraid to leave because I want to go.
Are you afraid they're gonna kick your ass
because the line is so long? I'm afraid to leave. I'm just saying that.
Oh, about getting in?
Do you have a way to get in, or you're not gonna leave? You're gonna stay with the 3 of us.
I'm not gonna leave. I'm staying here.
You're staying? Okay, so you're not leaving. Okay.
Oh, he could have given you half a sandwich. How do you know?
Well, then I guess I'll just stay
Yeah, but you need to eat.
Huh?
You need to eat.
No, I'll do that later. I think I can do it later.
We should go sign up. What time is it?
No, it's not open yet.
What time is it? Do I know?
2 p.m.
I mean, what time is it now?
12:30.
Are you serious? That's all it is?
Around 12:30.
Oh, not yet. Thank you, though. Well, I could go to the mayor because, you know, Corsian is now deputy mayor.
I'm gonna get coffee before it gets too late and they close, okay?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Bye.
Then you wanted me to meet with the mayor, or you gonna wait for me, or what?
I'll probably, well, you're going to sit down here? No, I'll probably go up to the mayor and then,
Well, I'll go with you.
I'll either be at the mayor or, where's the meeting on the 4th or
340.
the regular or public works?
340.
They
Okay.
kicked us out, council room.
Can you toss this? I don't want any more. I'm looking. So, I could do the mayor. You'll find me. Let's do the mayor. Do you want to get something small here, like eggs?
No. I'll wait. Don't worry about it. Let's go.
right.
Because the officer warned me. This sticker will not get me in. Because it's a different meeting, it's a different sticker. He said if I get in with this one, he will do whatever they did to Spindler the other day. So,
See, because
if that's the
because
case,
they're nice to me.
I'm scared to leave now. I'm scared to leave.
I don't blame you.
Hey, you're so weird in your email. You are the one who said you don't want to do lunch. You don't want to do lunch.
No, I didn't say I didn't want to do lunch.
You said 6 p.m. is perfect.
No, I said that. No. I said that's when I normally. That's like no.
And then all of a sudden you're.
No, I normally eat between 3 and 4 as my first meal.
Oh, this is. Oh. Okay.
So no, you misunderstood. I was. Yeah, because I got to get back before it gets too late. So I'm eating, like, I'm not going to eat for like 24 hours before, so I'll be starving by 3.
Anyway, I've changed it. You see the screenshot, right?
Yes, thank you.
You see the screenshot. Okay.
Can
So
we-
it should be good now.
I won't for her something to go. I have to wait. Okay, guys. Sorry, take your time. Getting a lot done today. How come you weren't at the police commission? Hi, good afternoon. I guess I'm back because they still never called, but can I ask, because, you know, is President Corsand, well, now Deputy Mayor Corsand, isn't that the area that he's now in charge of? Or them not calling me back and like community involvement? Yeah,
So he is deputy mayor for
Yeah.
his office. So he oversees community engagement. So let me.
but that would be this, right, what I do? Yes.
Let me reach out to the team for you. Let me see someone's available to speak with you, okay?
Yes, and if not, can you ask, put a message to Mr. Vahid if he could meet with Audit LA about my long list of.
Let me reach out to the team. I'll let you
Sure, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate all you do. I know it's not, you know, you're always are helpful and trying. It's not you. They just refuse to call.
Thank you for being nice as well, too.
Sure, thank you. I'll be nice to them too. I don't, even to the mayor, I'm not gonna be mean to anyone. I just want to be heard and answered, or hopefully they will do something.
All right, just give me a few minutes, okay? I'll let you know once we get a response back.
Thank you. I could just go out there that way. No, I want to talk to Vahid. Now I'm gonna call him Vahid, Deputy Mayor Vahid Corsand. Hello. You know what, maybe I should put in another complaint. You know what? I'm gonna put in. She left. I'm gonna put in another complaint. I want Vahid to answer it directly.
It's kind of related, because she said community engagement, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. Anything dealing with the
It's
community.
related to Scientology, community engagement.
There you go. I'm here.
I think
You didn't know I'm here.
It's somehow related a little bit.
Because we've been saying Corsian's a Scientologist.
He says I fell asleep during the Zoom council meeting. Did I really?
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, I think you did.
That's why I don't let him hold my purse or anything.
I think you did. By the way, is that your symptoms? Are you having a problem falling asleep all day long?
I am.
Is there a medical condition or something?
Yeah, but we don't announce it. Like, you know, like, yeah, don't talk about it.
Yeah. All it LA said we have to shout out.
Yeah. Because Kendrick Moxon listens to this, and you don't want to give Kendrick Moxon.
They are not that
this
powerful. There's no way they are listening to everything all the
They
time.
listen to. Are you kidding me?
They are not that powerful. Okay?
They are threatening the.
I do believe
Listen
that
to me.
they are spying, like from now and then. I kind of believe that they are not.
He hasn't listened to
like stability 24/7. There's no way.
They are. They have
No
somebody
way.
monitoring. I guarantee it.
No way.
I guarantee it. But listen to me. So he's even he's trying to get the DEA, I mean the city attorney, after me because I keep coming here demanding that they enforce the stuff, enforce everything. He doesn't say we're innocent. He doesn't say we didn't do it. He's just saying like he's upset. And then he said that I can show proof of her going down a sidewalk looking suspicious or something like that. I'm like, okay. Like, whatever, you know, so he's, yeah, no, they are monitoring. I'm on his way, and yeah, I keep getting all these nice little
How did they even find out your number and call you all day long?
They
How
have,
did you
they
contact
have investigators, private investigators.
And
They do.
Even though the investigators, they were
Yeah.
able to find out your phone
Yeah.
number that easily?
Yes, and they put everything, yep, he gave them all that info. Well, I kind of want to write up a different one.
Run up a different one.
Complaint.
By the way, your new chair still not arrived now?
No, the
Replacement chair still no? Still
okay,
waiting?
yeah, still waiting for them to do whatever they're going to do. They said it's going to take like 2 months.
Hold on, someone's calling.
Okay.
Your mechanic.
Hi. So we can't talk right now. Is that he's somebody I helped get out of get into housing.
Where's your friend?
Oh, hold on.
Already?
Yeah.
So I reached out to our community engagement team. Right now, they're all currently off-site, but they want to make sure they have your information. I let them
Okay.
know that you
Okay, guys. So she's gonna try to get, so Vahid Khorsand is now the boss of them.
I didn't ask, when he said that, I was like, how much?
Okay, oh, bike guy, can you go get I try to put him to, give him, we need to get the, things for this afternoon.
It will be in the room. Why?
It keeps him, gets him, okay, yeah, I mean, can you go get the two for the 2 afternoon meetings? Thank you. Yeah, it keeps them, it gives him something to do. Yeah, well, just so he feels like he's part of it, you know? He likes to be useful.
You're like raising a kid, man.
It is like, yeah, it is like raising a kid. But he likes it. He likes to be helpful. He does. He enjoys it. It gives him a sense of purpose and meaning.
Oh, by the way, what did she say?
She's going to tell him that I've been coming numerous times and no one's answering. So she's going to try to get them to respond again. And if not, I'm going to file a complaint directly to Vahid, because not her, I am, because it's like, I know you're like, so he's the boss of this department. So
Oh, the department of what?
he's the deputy mayor of community involvement.
Community engagement.
Engagement.
But you
That's
said
it.
right now, community engagement is under core center, you said.
He just got promoted to being, the mayor's office has different division, deputy mayors at different, he's with dealing with the community.
I'm confused now. I thought that core center is in charge of whatever community engagement.
Yeah, he's the deputy mayor, right, of it, right.
But you're saying that Mahid is the one in charge of.
That is Vahid. Khorsand is Vahid Khorsand.
So you're, never
I'm just
mind.
calling
So
him by
you're-
his
so
first
Vahid
name.
and the Khorsand is the
Khorsand,
same person.
same dude.
Oh, okay, you're talking about the same
That's a
person.
huge promotion, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I want to talk to, see, now I don't have to call him,
And then this guy was also, he's under the community engagement team also right here?
who?
The person right here on the desk right here?
Yeah, she's like the front desk for,
Right, front desk
yeah.
of community engagement?
Yeah, that whole office is Vahid's
Is
in
called
charge of all that whole,
Community engagement?
yes, dealing with the
Like-
community, community help desk, yes,
Engagement?
yeah.
Those are under right there?
Yeah,
Community
and all
engagement?
under Khorsand.
Whatever, okay.
Anything dealing with the community, outreach, going to the
Basically, she is the lowest level community engagement, basically.
probably, and then, but the people who go to, the neighborhood councils and all their reps, yeah, that's community engagement, yeah.
Did their office get defunded by the mayor's office?
Oh, I'm sure not.
Probably.
Freaking deputy mayor, man, that's a pretty high title.
Deputy mayor.
How come you didn't go to but you did sign me, did they even call my name?
No, I arrived late too because in my
It was
area,
huge line.
it's raining. So the bus is slow, stuck in traffic. So I arrived late.
Yeah, and it didn't even say anything, I wouldn't have come if it said rain, because I don't go out in the rain because of the, the batteries and stuff.
But
But it was nothing, thankfully.
Right here, shit.
What?
Fuck.
What? Now you're sounding like F-bomb guy. What? Oh, I'm worried about Dusty.
Fourth floor, yes.
What? You left something? Okay. He's off. Now what? Thank you. Thank you. You got both of them? Oh, thank you.
One of them is some other committee, I guess.
Okay, that's a 3:31. Yeah, but we're kind of stuck here because I need to go to the baño after.
Okay.
And then there's the 2:00 one.
They're all here in this building, I hope, right?
Oh, yeah, 3:40 and 3:50. So, okay, we got Soda Martinez, Prime, all right, good. I like the last one. See, I wasn't going to stay for the last one, but I want Yaroslavsky that, she needs to learn about not getting rid of protesters, but I need to go to the ladies' room afterwards.
Next, muted, I want to say something. All right.
Okay. White guy and his issues. That's pretty funny. Oh, yeah, okay.
Isn't that amazing that when I realized this one was somewhere, I think about for 5 seconds, I immediately know where can I
See,
find
that's
it.
awesome.
Is
You can-
that a little bit interesting?
That is.
I was surprised by myself though. I just suddenly remembered I lost my umbrella, and I think for less than 5 seconds, I immediately know where that is. It's interesting.
But was, what's his name? Was Goat Puppet here today?
No, he was kicked out. He cannot be here until like a week or something.
A week?
I don't know, but it's something like that. Maybe 3 days, maybe 5.
Did he do something horrible?
Mine just get some stuff kicked
he
out.
had like a double ejection. He was under suspension. He was kicked out under the suspension, so it's like longer.
Oh man, so poor smoking scanner is probably pretty boring because you didn't talk none of the gadfly stuff. What about Herman?
You got an F-bomb guy.
F-bomb guy?
Never boring.
That's true. So we had
There
one.
There are several people almost beat up Herman.
Really?
In the city hall?
Yeah.
Wait, why? Who?
Because
His
those
language.
people are the transgender coalition.
Oh, I saw those facts.
Transgender
I
coalition.
saw those gentlemen upstairs.
And Herman using the X word towards them, and then they got heated.
Well, of course. What do you expect? Probably.
So Herman was a little bit dangerous today.
Is that how all this big line of people yelling up front was?
No, not downstairs. No, they are not related.
No, what's that?
They are here for the 2 p.m. $30 minimum wage hotel
Ah,
worker.
okay.
That's why I cannot leave, because once I leave, I cannot get in.
I get you.
I cannot.
Why don't you try to work it out with the ball? You know what's his name? The sergeant. That's what I do.
Can you I want to make a comment?
The $30 minimum wage one?
No, about development.
It's not for this.
It is economic development. It is.
No, this is energy. Wait, no, hold on. For
It
this
is
one,
Economic development. 2 p.m.
is economic
Development.
and jobs committee. Economic development, not building development.
Can I try?
You can
You can try. Yeah.
General. Sign me up
Just
for
1
general.
minute for general.
All right, sign me up for general.
I will do it.
All right, thank you. After all, I am a general.
I'm tired. That was a lot this morning, but it was great. Like I feel like I could stop now and go home, but my ride's not coming till like after the last meeting.
Really? I thought you arrange your ride anytime you want.
No, that's why I don't like to do it because it's like it has to be like the day before, and you have to pay for it, and it's like if you're 5 minutes late, they take off. But
It's $3, right?
yeah, but it's like $2.75, I think. But I always pay for the double, so I don't get like
Even cheaper.
yeah.
What is that?
I don't like it. Like I paid whatever. I mean, I just
The $2.75 is one way or both ways?
one way.
So $5.50.
But you have no control. Like, say if I said I wanted to be, see now,
$5.50.
like I said 4:30, but now I'd like to go leave after this meeting. I can't. I still have to wait around. So I don't like it. I like to just be free.
Yeah.
Hold
I
on.
like
You
free.
get here on lit on.
I only use it because of this chair because I flipped. I
Get
got.
here using access.
This is what she uses.
How did you get here?
Because I'm allowed a one person accompany me.
Oh, they allow one person.
Yeah, because I have where I can have a care. It's called.
Companion.
Yeah,
Well,
care.
not exactly.
Yes, it is.
Is that considered?
Escort.
Yes. No, it's.
I thought it was a medical person.
No.
It's okay. You're a firefighter.
There you go.
You are a paramedic.
There
You're
you
a
go.
paramedic.
Let's go sign up.
Okay, let's do it.
No, it's too early. They're not out yet. They are not out until let's just say 1:20, something like that, based on my experience. It's too early. Hey, what time?
What time is it?
Hang on, guys. Hold my drink while
I think right now it should be around.
Oh my God, ladies' room.
1 p.m.
It is. It's 12:44.
See?
Oh my
We
gosh.
have to wait another half an hour.
Maybe we should just go and like
Where?
home, like and I'll just slowly scoot to that. I don't know if I.
But you said your car is out here. and
I
you-
know, I'll scoot it to
No, 'cause I
the,
didn't bring
carefully.
my bike.
That's not that far, that's fine.
Yeah, it is. Well, let's just stick around. We're here now.
No, because it's like 4 more hours, that's
It's
crazy.
all right.
Guys, I think,
Well, the problem is not 4 more hours. The problem is that when they have a so huge crowd, you may not get a call.
right, and so I'm gonna, yeah,
Even
because,
though you get a call, how are you gonna?
I forgot about that. I was
Yeah.
thinking I have to walk all the way.
no, all right, guys, I think,
You have your right.
At her
Right, you
house.
have to-
okay, guys, I think I'm going to, I think I'm just gonna, it was such a great day, very intense, I'm already getting burned out. If it's gonna be so crowded that we're not likely to speak, it's just not worth hanging out for another 2 hours. So, guys, I think I'm gonna just call it a quits today, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to do Public Works, City Council. See, the police one's hard, because by the time you get that done there and come here, it's too late. Where Public Works is always really quick, it's like zip, zip, you're done. So guys, I'm gonna get off now. I wanna thank everyone, thank all the, all my mods, everyone who's come with us, but I think I'm gonna head out. I'm getting tired. Thanks, guys.
Please, while I put my jacket on.